Good evening, boils and ghouls, and welcome to Blood from a Stone, our horror RPG. Ooh, scary. Hi, my name is Philip. I am the Dread Master of this game, 'cause of horror, and surrounding me are our wonderful players for the evening. Say good evening, players.
Good evening, players.
There you go. I do that. We're slightly off the thing there. Perfect. So, hi everyone. Yes, if this is your first time joining us here on Blood from a Stone, welcome. This is a horror campaign that is ongoing, but boy, the characters sure aren't. I will actually reveal now that it's an auspicious evening. We have had 36 characters appear over our sessions so far, and with the 3 new ones appearing tonight, we have our 39th player character. 39 is a multiple of 13. That means it is an important number. 39 Absolutely. Player characters. That means something special will happen tonight. As we're kind of going to get into it. As sort of a quick recap of sorts. Although this is going to be a pretty special episode, if I'm being honest. I will basically mention that in the town of Paradise, which is a rather normal kind of town, various people have realized that the town is not so normal at all. It is a domain of dread, a prison where dark forces torment the living and the dead who dwell there. These people, hoping to find some escape, teamed up with an angel against the Dark Lord of this plane called Paradise, known as the Stone Man. They underwent a ritual which allows them to pass their consciousness on to others after they die, so that perhaps their soul is not trapped in the mist that surround this town and might one day escape. One such individual awakened to this reality is a young man named Dylan Sneed.
Hi,
Dylan. Now, Dylan likes parkour and, what are some of his other interests and skills and hangout things he likes to do?
Not getting laughed at school is a big interest of his. Kind of like wishing he could talk to more people more easily. That's a big skill of his.
Mm-hmm. So Dylan is a kind-hearted lad, but he has seen a lot of darkness, both in his own mind as he remembers the death of various individuals, like a truck driver named Green, and another who was stomped to death by hippocamps. Ugh. And other individuals ripped apart by topies. But yes, he is he kind of got caught up after a big fight outside his next-door neighbor's house. He ran off with some other people who were awakened, kind of hoping they could protect him, hoping they could follow him. One of them sacrificed herself so that he would live against, and she was beset by vampires. He went on. He met some other kind people. Against his better judgment, he went up a mountain. Upon this mountain, they were attacked, and he rushed to the tower they had been invited to by a strange lizard-like creature, which D&D players would know means a kobold. But that creature was just eaten by some vampire kobolds. Don't worry about it. That was all last session. In any event, he made it to this tower where an orc, so this kind of gray-skinned, kind of boar-toothed creature, the likes of which he'd never seen, nevertheless said, okay, you can come in, we'll lock you inside. He heard massive pounding footsteps. He is now within, and this orc has kind of just been keeping him sort of near them. But Dylan now finds himself, as the other denizens of this tower appear, surrounded by all sorts of horrible things. That is where we're going to be beginning tonight's session, but first, I must read our invocation. There are hungry devils everywhere. It's on my heart they feast. Let me rise above the carcass of this pitiable beast. If I had the chance, I'd fly away. I'd see my soul released. I'd fly above the carcass of the nature of the beast. The occupants of this tower are gathered around. The hatches are battened, the door is closed. Their master, an Etin, has left them here. An Etin named, I had it pulled up, Dusadoronk and Bronk. The two always arguing heads. It's quiet outside for a while. The rain is coming down, but then they hear familiar footsteps approaching. Dylan, you hear these footsteps, and you have yet to see this creature. The orc is kind of holding you in place and speaking to you in common, saying, just hold here for a moment longer. But around you, there are monsters out of nightmares, the types of things you could not imagine. They're so hideous and horrible and strange. Let's describe just a few of them, shall we? Anthony, why don't you go first?
The first is a monster by the name of Gloomtooth, who has 4 spindly arms that come out from his gray pallow skin, in which he carries a dagger in 3. Gloomtooth is a creature that has an affinity with, we'll say spiders. He likes crawling on webs and, well, doing things to the creatures caught in them. And he's looking at Dylan right now and thinking that he looks like a rather tasty snack.
Yes, and I should have had this pulled up ahead of time, but just for those of you wondering at home, here's a rough image of what Gloomtooth looks like. There you go.
Dylan looks rather soft.
Let's have Pierce go next, I think.
The record is very sinewy too.
Yeah, Pierce.
Well, good boy, the other person you see before you is a small, almost koala-sized creature in appearance and also size, who you notice has rather sharp claws that seem to have sort of bits and pieces of leather and metal sort of jammed in there. And also strapped to his back is sort of what would probably be like a like a Bowie knife, which seems more like a machete on his stature. And this entity would be called Dr. Livingston.
I presume at least that's the we all went there. And then last of these I mean there are dozens of these creatures, but here are a few of them that kind of the orc has also sort of moved forward slightly. Jeremy, if you would tell us of your friend.
Did I bring up the picture as well?
I think so.
In the shadows, lurking amongst the stonery of the tower, you see this creature standing imposingly. This is Flomp. He is a strange and vicious creature. He has few friends, but many enemies, but most of them are dead because he ate them.
And I think it should be noted that Flomp looks like that, except he has some kind of like tusky teeth sticking out, and he's a little armored. He's got a bit of a sort of a shell to him.
Yes.
Gloomtooth would like to mention that he fears no monster, but that thing, it scares him.
Fair enough. So Dylan, you are surrounded by these interesting figures. You hear these approaching footsteps. You can't imagine what might arrive. And then you see walking into the room this giant, 20 feet tall, the doors spreading out, a crack of lightning behind as the rain still falls, for a dreadstorm is still going on. This giant stalks in, 2 heads arguing at one another in a language you do not understand. The rest of these monsters all seem to speak giant and understand what this Etin is saying. The orc begins translating for you. The Etin, one of the heads is laughing at the other, who is wincing in pain and holding up a hand that is like singed black and kind of like smoking. And what you all hear either straight from the multiple Etin's mouths or the orc who is translating is that this Etin went up to a strange structure that just appeared nearby on the mountain. Those who watched last week will know this is thanks to a dread storm. Another domain of dread came in here and plopped a building on this mountain that is already here from another domain of dread. Nesting shenanigans. In any case, the Etine begins, the one head who's in pain begins to say that he wants vengeance. This is Dusadoronk. He wants vengeance. He wants justice. He wants to see this building torn down. The other head says, no, you idiot. You shouldn't have touched it, and you definitely should have kept touching it when it was hurting you. And this head says, what we really want is for some of our troublemakers to go in there and bring us all the treasure. Unfortunately for Gloomtooth, Flomp, and Dr. Livingstone, they know that Bronk is definitely talking about them. Dylan, as the orc kind of pauses for a moment, and then as these kind of Etin looks down and begins pointing at Dylan and screaming stuff, the orc doesn't translate for a while, but the rest hear Dusadoronk and Bronk having an argument about, what is this? Should we eat it? Oh, this is the one that warned us. That's why my hand's in pain, etc., etc. The upshot is they say, let that one go and bring us treasure, or we eat it. So, a bolt of lightning outside once again, and 4 creatures are being dispatched to go to a shrine that has just appeared on the mountain. Of unknown origin, apparently it harms you to touch it. And they are told to bring treasure to their bosses. Ladies and gentlemen,
so demanding.
Welcome. Sometimes Halloween comes twice a year. Welcome to Super Lethal Murder Dungeon. This is not now. I believe Anthony, did you play in the Tomb of Infinity last Halloween?
Yes.
This is not the Tomb of Infinity. I built a new one. It came up. It came up. It's not as big as that. This came up organically. So welcome to Super Lethal Murder Dungeon, everybody. Not quite as super lethal, but unlike that one, this has. I will tell you all out of game. I rolled some things randomly. This has like colossal potential impact on this game.
Ooh.
On multiple levels.
But
Dylan, I really hope you can make it through this. You do have parkour, so that is cool.
I do have parkour, and I don't want to get eaten. So I think this seems like a better option.
If you do not want to be eaten, why do you look so tasty?
I mean, I can't help what your tastes are. That's like, you know, everyone has different things that they find yummy. I mean, like I really like, you know, like these like Brussels sprouts, but like that they have at the school cafeteria, but everyone makes fun of me for liking them.
Brussels sprouts, what is this?
It's a vegetable.
Do they scream when you eat them?
No.
I'm not interested.
They can't be better than hands.
All right. Guess who has a food delivery, Philip? I'm gonna make a big deal of this and go get some food. I'll be right back.
Wonderful. I told him to don't make it. Okay, so while he's gone, check it out, monsters. Here's the deal. There's nothing. I don't have a thing. It'd be fun if
I was so excited.
Secret, but honestly, the secret is just eat the guy. Whatever, it's fine. Or don't. You have been in search to bring treasure back, and so is he. So,
Flump, I do, as you know, I have a bit of a trophy room. So just kindly don't eat the head.
Every time you ask me, do not eat head. Head is most fun thing to eat.
Well, I know that
hands.
you like the screams, so if you start at the bottom and eat towards the head,
Well,
maybe
yes,
you'll be
but
full
then
by the time you get there.
eventually I eat the head at the end. It is like the middle of cinnamon roll. It is the best part, but you save for last.
so
He can have the head. I just want the hands. I have a head going for hands.
Please don't argue about me.
Child, could you open your mouth for 1 second, please? And this specimen has all of its teeth. A fine specimen indeed.
So
Just one hand here. You won't miss one.
No, I will. I need it for parkour.
It is like kidneys. You only need one.
No, it's not like a kidney.
Oh man,
I need. Please look. If I,
they're never gonna make it into the dungeon.
Okay,
That's how they'll
listen.
survive.
Listen. He goes first, and then if we make it out, we eat him. in celebration.
Please do not eat me.
The orc is actually going to cut in here and say, actually, the orc is going to smack you upside the back of the head, Gloomtooth, and say, "You heard the master. If this one survives, he's not eaten. And if anyone's eating him, it is the masters. I think mainly only Dusadoran, but possibly Bronk too. Now on with you." As this continues, the Bronk continues screaming at all of you, and those of you, Dylan, what you see in response to this is like dozens of these monsters follow you all out in the rain, catcalling, kind of herding you in. The others have heard that the Etin is worried some of you might try to flee as this is going on, so they are sending sort of a large crowd to stand at the entrance and watch. And I don't know, maybe replace you if you die. With that, a gaggle of strange monsters, the likes of which you've never seen. I mean, Dylan, there are like snail-like creatures, slithering up behind you. There are floating heads with wings upon them. Just true nightmare fuel. These weird like stalking birds kind of coming through, just kind of going, and they're all chattering. And there also are a healthy dose of kobolds and orcs and other sort of more humanoid creatures. But they seem to.
After seeing a vampire's bite get warded off by BDSM gear, I don't know if anything can top that nightmare fuel.
Hey, wait, maybe we should not kill this one. He seems to have funny stories.
So, at length.
Well, I do love a good hunt.
He doesn't need his hands to tell stories.
I mean, some people just.
I gesticulate.
Right? I do not know. I do not have arms. But...
That is true. Sometimes the appendages are an integral part of the storytelling process.
Fine. Let's just get it on with.
You see
do the show
as you're sort of led down. You do see this sort of strange, like spiky black basalt structure, a shrine of some sort that is glowing softly with like a faint green energy. Dylan, you never saw this. It is very upsetting. It definitely radiates menace. The rest of you, it radiates magic and menace, but magic menace. You also see that at the large set of doors at the front, which maybe Dusador and Bronk could have got through if they really had to crawl a bit, there is a large sort of set of stone doors made of the same kind of black material with this like green metallic crossbar like in front of them. Over the shrine is a skull carved into the same rock, peering down. The two eye holes of this kind of humanoid skull, they seem impossibly deep as you stare at them. Like no light from there's not much light out here, but it's glowing green, but like nothing penetrates the dark of these eyes. The orc kind of says, "Well, on with it then," kind of gestures. So yes, you see these large doors, this kind of spiny, think like Mordor architecture, sort of, kind of that, like, sort of, it's very, very deathful, very dark, very malevolent. And now the four of you, the rest kind of all step back. The rain falls. The rain is softly falling now. It's still going. There's distant thunder, but the dread storm that occurred has passed for now. So, what do you all do?
I don't know how to open that.
I presume there's a handle of some kind. Gloomtooth, you seem to have the most hands. Why don't you search for one?
This is true. He
Gloomtooth loves
many
his
more
hands.
than I. Yes.
So use them.
The Etin, what the Etin's name?
Dusadoronk is the one.
Dusadoran touched it. His hand was black.
Do we have like?
Well, you
long
could use some
stick
color
with which to touch things.
It's true.
Make a survival check, which, again, for all of you, since you're just using stat blocks, that just means just
whatever.
If you that's a wisdom if you're not proficient, which I can't imagine you would be.
Do you want me to make one as well?
What do you,
5 minus 1, so 4.
you see Flomp beginning to like bite because Flomp has no appendages, which is amazing. You see Flomp trying to like bite at a shadow that Flomp thinks is a stick, but instead just getting mouthfuls of kind of dirt. Dylan, if you want to look around for a stick, you could also make a survival check.
Well, even with my proficiency, that's only a 7.
So unfortunately, you know what? That at that point, you guys are pretty confident that there's no sticks around here. The kind of like the just wicked group like snickering behind you, like all step in front of like some of the obvious sticks on the ground that you could have picked up, enjoying your misery.
I will do the obvious solution to most problems, and I'll draw the like Bowie knife off my back.
Okay.
And just stab the door in what looks like... You said there's like a skull on it?
There's a skull over the door. Now, you are pretty small, so about like, you know, over your head, there's like a crossbar, like a green thing about this big, kind of like blocking, you know, like between the seam of the doors, but like the skull would be 8 or 9 feet up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then can I like stab at the crossbar? Is there a way to like stab up at it?
Sure. You hack up at the crossbar a couple of times. You hear a ting, like, you know, like the metal contacting metal. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Sure.
So strength, unless you happen to be proficient.
I actually do.
Perfect.
21.
Ooh.
So just little thing, and you don't have a +8 to it or anything, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So this little thing just kind of hops up and kind of does a big leap, and with a kind of like there's a bit of resistance on it. It's actually pretty heavy, but you do manage to just kind of with your knife knock this green bar up out of its sort of like hinged. That's kind of and I think at this point, are you? What is your intelligence score? I assume you're not proficient in investigation as a Zorbo. What's your int score?
That would be a 3.
Cool. So, obviously you guys I'll have a little more than your ints may be, but we'll still use it for stats. So you jump up and
it's a smart 3.
It's a smart 3. It's a well-spoken 3.
It's an overperforming 3.
You jump up and you knock this kind of the way it is. You did have to jump to do it. So as you sort of knock this off, the sort of like logical thing, realizing that this is a bar, it's like a crossbar on the exterior rather than the interior, as if keeping things in rather than blocking things from coming in, the doors swing open kind of very rapidly. I would like for you to, in the air, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Ooh. That is a natural 20.
Great.
So that is a 20.
So you sort of jump up and you're trying to get away, and you're spinning and you feel like you're about to like kick off of the of like the doors itself to kind of get away from them as they open. But then you're like, I don't think I want to touch them. But with that 20, you manage to, with your delicate little body, you're able to just like get your bottom paws onto the green crossbar that's flying and kick off of that, since that didn't seem to kind of be radiating anything. And sure enough, you flip aside, the doors swing open with this like, and for a few moments, you all hear the most spine-tingling susurrus of like, and it all feels like it's rushing forward, but it still feels distant, and suddenly it like becomes this like this wall, as if I don't think any of our creatures would be proficient in Arcana, but Dylan, why don't you just make an Arcana check for me?
Wow, that is a 2.
As if it's really creepy and scary.
Yeah,
in addition,
it is.
there is this absolute just stench of death and decay that washes over the entire crowd. The monsters behind you all begin hacking. Some of them rush up and start inhaling really deeply. But the four of you now, with Dr. Livingstone kind of, standing up, having flipped out of the way, you all a little closer to the door. They begin charging for you to go inside.
I'll slap my machete effectively back on my back and go, Well, seems like we have quite the adventure ahead of us, fellows. Let us go conquer it. And I'll begin walking in through the doors.
All right. As you walk to the doors, you see that the floor within is a green meteoric iron that has whorled patterns in it. Your toes on this metal kind of like are tong tong tong, like kind of make very loud steps.
Right.
As you walk through this metal floor, which was a metal floor before I knew what species you were playing there, sir. Fun thing about Zorbos is their AC is determined by what they're standing on.
And just absorb you as Dr. Livingston sits out. You watch as like his skin starts to shine a little bit more and look like it hardens as he steps onto the metal.
So you're Kevin Levin. Basically.
As you walk through this sort of metal thing, the walls are still the same, black, kind of like basalt. And within you see a chamber. There are 3 doors in the chamber, one directly ahead, one to the left, and one to the right, as often are the case. Dr. Livingstone, you said you're kind of going first?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Perfect. So as you lead your way in, if you would go ahead... Oh no, that's right, we put a thing that is a roll into it. So Dr. Livingstone is going ahead, and none of you have... Well, actually, Dr. Livingstone, what is your passive perception?
11.
Cool. Tight. So interestingly, the spell that has been put into this glyph of warding is an attack spell.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to roll an attack as suddenly you sort of step further into the room and this kind of sticks up at you. Although this works in your favor because you're on metal.
Yeah.
All right. So
Fantastic.
All right. I got a +8 to hit. Here we go.
Fantastic. We're still going to get blown away.
Okay. All right. It's a natural 20.
That's appropriate.
Which I gotta show. I don't know if I'll be able to show this on here. This is this like it's this die where it's got these like skulls on it that Vonda gave me.
May I ask what the spell is and what level it is?
This is a 3rd level inflict wounds.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot.
So that's
I could, in theory, live
10d10 coming your way.
That's 10d10?
Well, it's usually 5d10, but it was a crit.
Oh, because they
Yeah. Well, so much for the 19 AC I had.
Well, if he rolls all ones.
It's possible.
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, it's or even all 2s because you probably.
I've got a decent. I've got a decent amount of health.
I don't.
Yeah, some of you really don't.
Right.
And I'm. It's all metal today. I'm rolling 10 metal d10s here. Here we go. Should be a nice funk here. Okay, there are some 1s. 1, 1, 2. So that's 5. Plus 3, so that's 11. Okay, that's a 9, so that's 20. Then 25. Then 32.
Okay, now we're done.
Then 41. What is your max HP?
27.
Okay, so you are not fully dead.
Yeah.
But as the Zorbo sort of steps on this, you see this, like, just very, very confidently walking into this this just deathly dungeon here. And this glyph on the floor, like, just before he's even, like, registered the full room, just kind of, like, and, like, it's as if, like, the spectral hand reaches up, and you just see, like, necrosis forming all over Dr. Livingstone, who then kind of falls down.
I don't like that.
I'm turning back and I'm like, are you sure you absolutely need treasure from this place?
Go.
Shit.
Is anyone going to Dr. Livingstone?
I will go up to Dr. Livingstone.
Okay.
I'll poke at him with a dagger.
Okay.
Anything happen?
He is. Go ahead and make your first death save.
5.
Cool. As you're there, sort of like hovering just over the cliff, as you kind of approached their gloomed, this cloaked figure appears. The body seems slight, the robes are dark and kind of like tattered. But it does not, this appears to be like emerging, like appearing. This seems very physical. And in fact, this form then like lands like right where you are. And the hood is up, and within you see pure dark blackness. And the voice within says, "Kill him."
Stab him.
Okay, that is, go ahead and, I guess make an attack roll. His AC is technically 19 right now.
Yeah.
You get advantage. 'cause
You have
it's
advantage,
right?
but it is, yeah. But only one attack. Only one poke.
What's my plus on this? Dagger. So that would be a 18.
18.
What's your AC? 19?
19. So
Go
you're
ahead.
unable to pierce, and this figure says, pathetic. Pierce, make
Oh wait,
another.
I have multi-attack. Dude, does that count?
It if you want to hack into him, but upon seeing you miss once, she says pathetic.
Okay.
This kind of like voice, like pathetic. So if you want to keep going, you can.
I mean, I was trying to cut off his hands anyway so I could eat them.
Understood.
Yeah.
So Pierce, go ahead and roll another. Let's have Dr. Livingston make another death save.
This is why Bluetooth and I are great friends.
It's 9.
I have no hands for him to eat.
This figure just kind of like begins like walking over and saying, welcome. I do not recognize any of your colors. On whose side of the war do you stand?
What?
You,
What
human
war?
child.
What war?
Actually, you don't see anything, it's black. The war. Which of the Lich Lords do you serve?
What is a Lich Lord?
I turn back and I say, Master, are you a Lich Lord?
Your master has not gone out there, but the others laugh at you at the thought that Etin would be something so weak as a whatever. They didn't really understand the words. Let's get one more death save out of old Dr. Livingstone.
Okay. 8.
Cool. Dr. Livingstone, kind of this figure, suddenly looks down and says, dead, wasted blood. Preposterous.
Let's not
cut it off.
still be eaten.
Can I cut off his hand?
Sure. For the record, what, Dr. Livingstone?
Is that a record on the show right now? Is that the fastest someone has died yet?
I still think that in episode 1, Andrew's first death might have been faster. I think it was by 8. All right. Because they didn't know each other well enough to dick around at that point first. It just literally started, and he went out in the water, and bada bing, bada boom. All right, so there goes Dr. Livingstone. I will just go ahead and mark that down as a kill. So we actually do need player character 40.
Okay, I'll just introduce now.
Please.
That one of a large, like actually large, so like a sort of a giant snail slithers forward, and you can see that there's like bits of like bone and metal and corpses just sort of like stuck onto his back. They're just sort of like piled like a shell.
Yes.
And he just sort of comes and he just so as he sort of comes up, he just goes, I guess it's sort of my turn then.
Yeah, everyone kind of cheers you on as you go in. And what the rest of you see here, sorry, I really should have these all pulled up, but I don't. Yes, but you basically see this kind of creature moving in on you. Just chill.
No, thank you.
Not a problem.
I realize you probably can't say my actual name with your little teeth mouth, because it's more of like a. But you can probably just call me David.
All right. So as David kind of slithers in behind, and this kind of cloaked figure is just looking at all of you. Those of you who say and basically says, well, don't be afraid if you're entering my home. You've already let yourselves in.
I was wondering, could you tell us your name? our new host.
Ah, certainly. Stremzaz.
Stremzaz.
I really need to do this character like this because I'm always emoting. Stremzaz.
All right. Stremzaz, would you be so kind as to direct us to your treasure room? We have been ordered to take treasure out of this dungeon. And give it to our master.
If you want treasure,
Yes.
that can be found. I have treasures. I have treasures of great power that were kept here with me. A hand, bony, skeletal, extends, pointing to the room to the left of you guys, and says, "But do not enter that room. What treasure there is a pittance. And what else awaits you there is only death. My greatest treasures are behind me through this door. But it will take a great deal to access them. But if you're willing to pay for it in blood, it can be done."
One just clerical question. Why do you have the door that kills people?
That's a good question.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
chewing on a hand.
Oh, I do have a question about that, real quick, Philip.
Mm-hmm.
So you cut off Dr. Livingston's hands and ate them? Okay. My question is, do the destructive claws retain their properties?
I think so, probably, sure. What are the properties?
So I don't know what this would do if you ate it, but basically it degrades. It magically deteriorates like armor and weapons and shields if it hits it.
I think because that's all intended to be like inorganic stuff, I think that
Fair.
inside, they're not good.
Okay.
The answer is they don't taste good, even for you.
It's
They're
like licking a Nintendo Switch card.
Yeah, you're like, no.
I take a couple bites out of stubbornness and then I toss the hand in a corner. There.
Stremzaz will
I
sort
look
of...
at Dylan.
So, you asked me why there is a room that is only death.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the answer to that, I would happily tell you. For now, I urge you. Skeletal hand points to the right. Enter that chamber. Take all the treasure you find within. Use it to enter the chamber beyond me, where my greatest treasures lie. Pay for it in blood, and it can all be yours.
This sounds like a reasonable exchange.
I don't mean to. I don't know. I don't want to like second guess your hospitality, but why are you just telling us where to go?
This is a good question.
You are different from these beasts. Come to me. Come here.
Like tentatively. start
You do notice that sort of she seems to be sort of standing on the glyph that, or like now there's like a discharge thing and like where the Zorbo body is. She's standing there. She's kind of like beckoning you to come with a skeletal hand.
I'm gonna like slowly walk up, ready to like jump at like first sign of trouble.
The glyph seems to have already expended itself.
I mean, if she makes anything, yeah.
Yeah. But she kind of looks at you very carefully and says, "You should not trust these creatures."
I don't.
Good. I'm going to tell you a secret.
Okay.
This isn't my house. She gets really close, like leaning into your ear, but you see nothing. It's just blackness. And almost like the blackness like overtakes your face. and you hear this whisper in your ear. It is my prison. She kind of pulls back slightly. Release me, and the treasure is yours, and they will be dead. Whatever you wish.
Okay.
There are so many things you can do. So many things you can do to survive. I know you're scared, but I need you, and you need me.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Figure stands back up, kind of from leaning towards Dylan.
Just a question. If we were to burn it all down, would the things survive, and we could just pick it up later? Like if we burn the building down.
You are welcome to try to burn the building. Some of the better treasures likely would be destroyed, not all. But you can take whatever you want, and I'll not harm you, provided you pay for it in blood, pointing at the door behind, in there.
So like, do we? Group. I'm sorry. Do we feel like that's a plan A? Like burn everything down, man? Like it.
You can try. This is very, stone heavy. I don't know how effective flames will be here.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe like we shelve that as like a plan C or D. If we run out of options, we can try throwing torches at things.
Oh, okay. Okay, that seems okay.
Okay.
So, is that your plan to get fire?
No, it sounds like it's like plan D.
Understood.
It's lower on the
How about,
list. Yeah.
Flump is going to waddle over to the right door that she said had treasures to take with us
Okay.
in it.
You'll go to the door on the right. Wonderful. All right, so you waddle over there and you see...
Can I look around just so I don't step on any glyphs on the floor?
Make a perception check, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. 14 minus 1, so 13.
So close. So you do look around, and one thing you see that is kind of notable with a 13, I'll say everyone else is kind of too focused on this, but as you go over there, you see that kind of next to this door, in like a carved thing in the wall, sort of between this door and the door at the rear, the center door. So there's basically left, right, center. The center's the one she says she wants to go into pain and blood. Left, she says, is death. Right, she says, is treasure and can get you into the other one. You see that there are these massive bas-relief carvings of skulls with open mouths hanging like freakishly wide. Just kind of like big gaping skulls. With a 13, you feel like it's incredibly kind of like dark and misty in there, but you cannot see exactly what's inside. But you see that there's this skull kind of like on the wall, like there's a big skull about like 2 feet across, 2 feet wide kind of portal, and there's something within that. And the I'll say you even maybe look back over and you see that kind of like beyond all those people, it seems like there's another one between the center door and the left door as well. So there seem to be these 2 bas-relief skulls carved into the black basalt.
And this is in the main room or the room I'm going into?
No, it's the room you're in. The room you're going into has a heavy door made of stone.
Okay.
So what are we gonna do?
I believe we go into room on the right.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Can I look at the weird skull thing between the doors?
Sure. Now, you're also kind of short, so you kind of hop up a couple times.
Right, yeah.
You can make another perception check. I think it's a disadvantage because you're only seeing, like, the top as you're clearing,
A 1.
It looks like mist in there, but the others see this little strange flomp jumping up and down, looking in.
What are you doing? Come help me. I am short. I have only legs, and they're like 1 foot tall.
You do have only legs. That's very true.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm lagging right now. Can
Oh
you hear
no,
me?
you are lagging. We can hear you,
Okay.
but you are frozen
Okay.
in a look of frustration.
Yeah, that's great. I will, however, go and look at this door near Flop. Is it just handles on the door like a regular door?
This door does not. It does seem to have handles. They are made of the same black sort of stone. Seem almost like a built-in, handle of some sort.
Okay, having seen Dr. Livingstone try this earlier, I will take my 2 of my daggers and kind of jab them into the handles and try and pull the door open with the daggers.
Oh, understood. Okay, sure. Yeah, you kind of you put your hand in. It. Make an athletics check.
Okay. Ooh, that's bad. I roll an 8.
An 8. I'll say with an 8, your hand does slip, and you kind of like contact the stone, and you take 3 points of necrotic damage.
3 points?
And it kind of sizzles a bit.
Stinks.
It's kind of a bubbling kind of black rot on your hand for a second.
What did that do him? It was touching the door?
He was trying to open, he was trying to like pull on the door handle without touching it, but it was too heavy and his hand slipped and he sizzled against the door a little bit.
Would it be easier with Mr. Livingstone, the former Mr. Livingstone's knife?
It's possible.
You could take that knife if you wanted to. Flomp, if you stopped, you walked away from the skull in the wall.
Yes, I cannot see anything.
Cool, you just go over there. All right, so yes,
They look the same, right? The 2 of them.
They do. I mean, you could go look at the other one if you'd like to.
I mean, I'm not helping with the door. I cannot even reach.
That is true. There's an interesting thing going on here where a couple of you have no hands in this group, and that's just delightful.
Yes.
Could go on over. Make another perception check at disadvantage as you jump up.
Okay.
Let's have the high one be a 13. That would be fun.
My computer's freezing up, so if I disappear, I'll be right back.
A 17 and a 7, so 6.
6. Unfortunately, you just can't. They're sort of nothing.
Man, this place sure does have walls.
This sort of skeletal figure leans down to you and says, "They're going to try to take the treasure and give you none because you don't have hands to carry it."
Is she telling this to me?
Yeah. There is so much treasure within those skulls. They won't share it with you. You are too small and you don't have hands. But you do have you have a mind. You should convince them to go in the other door. Send them in there to their deaths.
Only left.
Yes. Kind of just stands. And there's this interesting quality, like when she's talking to people, like the rest of you kind of see her lean down, but you don't really hear. Kind of, it just seems like she might be like near. It's like whatever conversation there seemed to happen much faster than you would have expected. But in any case, she kind of says that to you. Meanwhile, Dylan, if you've gone and picked up the knife, and I guess David is just kind of over by the door that they're trying to go into on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And probably also on the, because how far into the hall was that?
It's like there's barely a hall. It's kind of like a big, kind of like a, circular foyer that they've already entered here. Oh,
Yeah.
did that mess well.
And David is trying to be a little mindful.
Okay.
Right? Because he is large size and anyone would stick to him. But he does sort of pick up Dr. Livingstone's corpse, he kind of rolls on his side to add it to the pile.
Sure.
On his back.
Makes perfect sense. That gets looped in. Sure. Great.
But I'm sorry. I was told we were going through this door. Is that because we all said that it was this door, and now we're going over this door.
Well, it looks like that door's handle burns you. So unless we can deal with that, maybe we should try other door.
The other door kills us.
Right, but maybe that is just what she wants us.
Could you try putting Dr. Livingstone's arm through the door and using it as a little rope to pull the door open?
I mean, it's possible.
You monster.
I'm trying to think outside the box.
That's pretty messed up, human.
I've seen a lot of bad things today. I saw someone put a hand through someone else's chest.
Oh, that sounds delightful. You will have to tell me more when we absolutely survive this encounter.
You are afraid of the doors. Do you wish me to open the door for you?
Oh, could you do that?
That'd be great.
Kind of goes over to the you want the door, you're talking about the door on the left or right?
On the right.
Goes to the door on the right. Puts a hand on it. Kind of skeleton hand, wraps around the handle, pulls. I cannot open this door, it seems. How troubling. Shall I try the other? Gesturing to the door on the right.
Wait, I thought you
Left.
said the
Or
left.
to the left, I mean.
Yeah, okay.
No, you
That
said
kills
one would kill
everyone.
us.
There is nothing but death inside. That is true.
Then no, thank you.
Well, I mean, maybe if we have no other options, we can try the death door.
You
I
could try
mean-
the death door.
I do not have hands. I cannot try the death door.
That's fair.
It's
That's why I've never tried to eat you.
It was the start of a beautiful friendship.
Yes, what is our bone whelk going to do?
Is everyone like pulling on the door handles to try to open?
They have been pulling on the door handles, and it does seem that they would open.
Inward.
It does seem like they would actually open. Well, actually, are any of you? What's your intelligence, bone whelk?
Oh
10.
God.
Oh no.
So much
Sorry,
worse.
mine.
What is yours? Is 10?
Oh no, sorry, it's a 6. It's better.
6. Okay, yours is a 10 actually. Gloomtooth.
Sorry, I got names confused, but yes, 10.
Gloomtooth. I think you might, however, after pulling on it, you might think it is more of a push situation. With a tenant, you might be like, oh, they all open in from this foyer.
Do the door handles seem different from the door itself?
No, they are made of the same material.
Okay.
By putting Dr. Livingstone's body on it and pushing his body.
I'm just
into
gonna.
the foot.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, you can pull him off of me if you want right now. It's not, but I can't really like direct that. But actually, can I like turn my shell and like push on it?
Sure, make an acrobatics check to kind of bend properly to push only with your shell and
What's
none
a
of
giant
yourself.
snail's acrobatics
okay, so
modifier?
that was an 11 on the die,
Okay.
which brings us to an 8.
I was gonna have that be a DC 10, so an 8. I will say you do push the heavy stone door open because you're large, so I'm not gonna also make it, but like you're gonna like maneuver it. You can get some kind of pulsing your single slug-like body around, but you do take a single point of necrotic damage as you contact.
Everything about that was upsetting.
And you guys
Got a little shocked by the door. Be careful! Don't touch the door, anyone.
open the door up, and you push it open enough. Somewhat, it will probably need to be pushed open a little further for you to fit through, but for the rest of them, they can kind of squeeze through the door without touching on either side. But there seems to be a chamber within.
We see.
Just-
Within, you see in this chamber that it is ringed, kind of like about like 3.5, 4 feet up off the ground, rib cages. Kind of like worked into the black stone. Within each of these hovers a heart that glows softly red. I neglected to mention there are
a heart.
a heart with aorta, like heart.
Right. Okay.
I forgot to mention that in the chamber you're in, there are green torches, kind of like an eldritch flame, green creepiness. In this room, there's the red glow from the hearts, but there's also green torches. In the center of this room, as you guys are looking in, you see on like a little raised platform. It's odd. It's a bunch of treasure piled up, but it's all like piled in like very straight lines, or it's very strange looking. All these coins and gems and other things all piled like very starkly in like a perfect sort of line like that.
Excellent interior decorating.
Well, look, I mean, like that's the treasure, right? That's what we're here to get. You guys can just you can probably just throw it at me if you want. It'll stick to me. It'll probably be an easy way to like carry it out.
You just roll over? Oh, because you can't get in the door?
Well, not unless someone opens it up a little bit more. It's like I mean I already kind of pushed it open a little bit for you all, so if like.
Can I step in the room? Is there a handle on the other side of the door?
If you step into the room and kind of peek around, there does appear to be pull handles on the other side of the door. Yes.
Can I try with the dagger again to just pull it open a little more for?
Sure. I'll say if it's already open, that is what's your like to hit modifier with daggers? Is it Dex for you?
Yes, that would be a
you're
+4.
You're proficient enough that you can kind of, pull them open, and in fact, yes, the door kind of creaks. This heavy stone opens, and you now have with both doors open, the bone well can pass without, maybe bones scraping on either side, but you get the doors open, certainly.
There's these hearts in these rib rings.
Yes.
Are these like floating above the ground or part of the ground? How are these arranged?
The ribs seem to be like growing out of or like put onto. They seem like humanoid rib cages, about the size of like a human. They seem to be either growing or mounted into the walls, the black walls around. The hearts are hovering within them, like where a heart would hover.
Is this just around the edge of the room, or is there like rings in the center?
No, it's like it's around the edge of the room.
Okay.
And did you say how are there other light sources? Yes, there's also green. So it's like green above, but they're all glowing red.
I'm just gonna whisper to the cloak figure. What are those hearts?
I don't know.
You seem to lack very crucial knowledge of your own house.
Well, like we don't need the hearts, right? We were told to come in and get the treasure. Are the hearts the treasure? I mean, would the masters consider that treasure? I mean, I'm just thinking about like what we were sent here to do, and that wasn't the list. I was told we were after treasure.
I mean, I know, like Jeff and like Stacy really like to eat hearts, but I don't know how much our master does.
They're like the third most delicious thing after hands and ears.
Well, do you just want to? I'll look at the big snail. Do you just want to roll over the treasure and grab that?
Yeah, I can try. I can try if that's what you think we should do.
I mean, it does. I'm not that strong, and he over there doesn't. I'm sorry. Are you he, or are you an it, or they?
Oh, I guess like none of those words really make sense. All of them are fine.
Well, I mean that one over there doesn't have any arms either, so like we need a lot of help carrying.
Oh, sure, rub it in.
Well, I'm just trying. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I'm trying to state facts about the situation.
I'm just screwing with you. I have come to terms with
Where are you right now, Gloomtooth?
Gloomtooth is around. It's probably creeping towards the treasure. It has.
Oh, you've entered the room. Okay, gotcha.
I've entered the room. Yes. I'm cautiously moving towards the treasure. Try and scrape. You said there's some gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Right, can I reach out with a dagger, just one of my hands, and just kind of try to.
You stick your dagger out, and it, like kind of like a half an inch before actually contacting the treasure, there's like it just doesn't even hit it. You hear this very like kind of like dull like as the dagger makes contact. And you notice now that you're close to it that the treasure is like it's like a wall, like a perfectly like flat. All the treasure is perfectly flat. Like none of it is out of line. And in fact, if you go around, it seems to be completely flat on all sides in kind of like a
like it's a picture.
No, like you can see that they're shapes, but there seems to be, as you sort of, are you tapping a bit?
Yeah.
There seems to be like it seems to be like within an invisible box of some kind.
Okay, so the treasure is 3-dimensional, but it's inside.
The treasure's 3-dimensional, but as you tap it and then like you go and it's very sharply, like if you look from the side, the treasure is now all piled up against another flat plane. that you just tap and it's nothing. Why don't you make as you're looking it over though? Why don't you make an investigation or perception check, your choice, as you look the treasure over?
They're the same.
They're the same. Cool.
8.
You can't. It just looks like treasure stuff. You know, you prefer hands, honestly. Let's face it. So it just looks like a bunch of treasure. It looks like, but now that you're up there, yeah, with an 8, it just looks like a bunch of treasure. But you can't touch it. You're not sure why.
In a box.
What is a box?
The treasure. It's in a box.
Pick up the box.
Oh, it's a big box.
Can I walk up to?
Look, I will stab it. I will stab it
Sure.
with my dagger so they can see.
If you're all going in, you sure enough see that there appears to be a sort of a, you know, like, kind of like, like 2, maybe like 3 foot by 2 foot kind of rectangular prism in which treasure is piled up, but it's all kind of flat planes of that.
Can I poke on the top? As there seem to be?
There
something?
does seem to be like almost like at varying things, almost curved over the top of it. There seem to be like different levels. Like over the top, it's almost like a full foot above the closest treasure. Near the edges, it's only maybe 6 inches over. But yeah, you tap and there seems to be some kind of almost lid over.
Can you like move the lid off?
Does it seem to be doing anything to the daggers when I touch it?
You just feel like when you touch it with the daggers, you feel absolute resistance, like to the pinpoint of it. You don't feel like you're digging into anything at all. There's no give in the slightest.
I'll just in case I'll push with my hands if the daggers don't seem to be taking any damage.
You contact, like it feels like just like sort of like it's not necessarily hard or like intense feeling, but it is just absolutely irresolute. Or resolute. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Can't get in.
It seems like there's nothing, like you feel no give from it at all.
I will walk up to it. Can I try to bite it?
Absolutely, make a bite attack.
All right. Oh wow, it's my first good roll. Makes sense. That is a 21 to hit.
21 to hit. Your kind of like tusks don't sink into anything. Your tusks are just like stopped immediately. You can maybe clamp yourself onto like a corner of it, but it seems absolutely impenetrable.
How many hearts are there in the room?
There are maybe 20 hearts around the room. It's fully ringing them. Are you looking those over?
But I'm not getting too close.
Okay, make an investigation check then, if you're just kind of like.
I would like just to bring up again that we could just burn things. Maybe that would open the boxes if we burn the boxes.
You got fire.
Burn it down.
Natural 20 for a 20.
Wow, a natural 20. That is.
Not as exciting as a 13, let me tell you.
Well, there's different kinds of exciting. This one is different than the others. And you walk around and make sure and come back to it. This skeleton is different than all the other skeletons. The color of the bones is different. The bones are smaller. The bones have like little like ridges on them and barbs on them, and the amount that like would have been cartilage seems to actually be a little less. Like they seem to go in further than all the humanoid or the human looking ones around. The heart inside is also interesting because it seems to have like more chambers than the other ones. Or less chambers, I don't know. It has a different number of chambers than all the other hearts.
A little bicameral heart over here.
And it's also got and like the heart itself seems to have some like ridged spiny portions on it.
Does anyone know what kind of heart this is? What this was? I'll point it out.
Can I go up and look at
I'm
it?
going to say the monsters can, in fact, go over it, and all of you may have advantage on your roll to make an investigation check. I know it's not high, but you've all probably eaten some hearts in your time.
I have gouged out my fair share of
Or medicine. Investigation or medicine.
Those are both equally bad. So,
We'll go with medicine because it's only a -1. So
15.
that's 11.
Oh,
19.
I really
19
thought it was.
on medicine.
I really thought it was going to be a 12 because it was a 13. We were very excited, Pierce, and that was
All
really
right.
sad.
I'm sorry.
A 19.
I've eaten a lot of hearts.
Gloomtooth, this, you've seen a goblin heart before, and this is a goblin heart for sure.
Does that mean anything in particular to Gloomtooth?
They're bonier. It's weird. There's like a couple little bones in a goblin heart. But they're maybe a little sweeter.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a goblin heart. They taste good. They're sweet. Good for dessert. After hands, of course.
Do you want to try eating it? Not me. I don't like hearts, but if you like it, maybe it's there for a reason.
It does look tasty.
I ate before I left, so I'm good. But please, if any of you want to.
I don't want to, but thank you.
Reach out. Can I reach out and
I'm
try?
gonna before he does anything, I'm gonna step back.
Understood. You reach out with one of your 4 arms.
Yeah.
And you
Grab the heart.
Excellent. As soon as you grab the heart, it kind of like as like a little burst of energy disappears, kind of like into you. You gain 5 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
And
Never reached
all the
out
other
through my
hearts
hand
kind of
before.
like the hearts all sort of like pulse, kind of in a sympathetic sort of way. And suddenly, like groaning and kind of like snapping out of the wall, more bones and a little skull over the top. A goblinoid skull and arms and legs are now hanging from this spot. And there is a
Who dares awaken me from my slumber? Go respect the dead.
hello, friend from the wall. What is your name?
Ah! Who said that?
Down here.
Whoa, Jesus fuck. Look at that thing. Holy fuck. Am I in some awful afterlife, tormented by visions of cruelty and destruction? That's an upsetting creature.
More likely, you're in a cruel, normal life, tormented by terrifying diseases and creatures. I am very much alive.
Well, fuck. That's bad. I'm not happy about that.
Well, everyone has an acclamation period to my visage. You can take your time, but afterward, I would appreciate to know your name.
You would appreciate what?
To know your name.
Oh. My name is Jammy the Faithful.
To what?
Why?
No, to what?
To what?
Yeah, what are you faithful to?
I am faithful to the Lich Lord Starsooth.
Bless you.
No! I mean, thank you. Fuck. What? Wait, who are you all faithful to? Which of the Lich Lords do you serve? If it's the Lich Queen Visibadiroth, I'll tell you, I'll cut out your faces and cut off your whatever your genitals may be. You're all some weird looking creatures, so I can't even make assumptions about what they be. That one's got balls, but the rest of y'all do things too you wouldn't believe.
I don't know any of those names.
This
Alright,
wall
but-
goblin is very irritable.
You don't know the Lich Queen Visibadiroth.
We don't even know what a Lich Lord is.
What the fuck, oh boy? How bad have things got out there? Did something kill all the Lich Lords?
I don't know.
Bloody
Well-
hell.
Well, we were just eating hands, right? And then a tower
As you do.
appeared, and then the boss said, "Get the treasure from the tower," and here we are. And then you were in a wall.
Right.
What the fuck's that shit?
By the way, do you know how to get into that? And I like gesture with my entire hand because that's how I gesture to things. That weird box that is invisible in the center of the room.
What? I've not seen such a thing. I serve Starsooth, and
Right, you said
and
it
they will
already.
free me.
Stremzaz, do you know this Shasuth man?
The sort of cloaked figure appears at the door.
Starsooth, yes. Starsooth. They are a Lich Lord. The Lich Queen, Visibadiroth, is in love with them, but they despise her.
Well, that's
Why?
scandalous.
Did
For
like
the
one of
many
them
things she's done. Yes?
like make fun of her in the make fun of them in like the lunchroom at school, or like what?
In a manner of speaking. Yes. There was mockery, in fact.
Is a Lich Lord like a dragon? I've never heard of a Lich Lord, but I know Facing Smoke, the dragon. He likes to wrap people in wood and like cigars and smoke them and
It's
enjoy
true.
their screams. Is that what
How?
Lich Lords do?
Utterly horrifying. I'm sure some would enjoy such a activity, but no. Is there dragons out there? I've heard of dragons. I don't. If there's dragons, somebody kill me and keep me dead this time. I swear it.
I haven't seen any dragons.
Well, I hate to break it to you, my wall-stuck friend, but I think you are already very dead.
Well, that's good for something. I mean, it's bad. I don't want to be dead. I want to continue serving Starsooth, for I am loyal, and I hate Visibadiroth. If I had saliva glands, I'd spit her name. I would. But I can't.
Are the rest of these hearts along the wall your friends?
I don't know them from Grishboff, which is Goblin for Adam.
Okay.
Is this just a skeleton goblin, or are there hands I can eat?
There's hands, but they're skeleton hands.
Oh, that's
I
unfortunate.
don't know, but if there's anything I can do to help Starsooth, I will do it. And I hate what I would do if I hate Visibadiroth in the hold she's got.
Hey, you know what would help Starsooth is
What?
if you helped us get into that box over there in the center of the room.
Oh, I don't know of any boxes. I know of the little room I was in.
What little room were you in?
Whatever I just came out of.
Like the adjacent room, or like what? What was in
Whoa.
that room?
I guess it's sort of kind of like trying to look behind, like it was just back, sort of just popped out through this.
Right. Is there anything of note in that room?
What should I tell you if you don't serve Starsooth, and if
Well, I mean-
if you don't work with the authority of the Lich Queen Visibadiroth, I don't have to do a thing for you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Starsooth sounds like a wonderful person. I would love to meet them and serve them, possibly. if
Make
you
a
help
make a
us.
persuasion check. You-
Okay.
you horrifying little nose thing.
Natural 20! -2, but natural 20.
Well, in that case, yeah, there's a room behind me. You should come into it. There's some treasure and such and things and what.
Now, how would we come into it? You came through a wall.
Right, just I don't know. Here, I'll try to move it. All right, wall's not moving for me. Don't know why. I suppose I could.
Should we pull on the bones? I mean, maybe just pull on him? maybe.
Yeah, maybe to like dislodge the wall or something.
Yeah, you could try to dislodge the wall. Yeah, it's fine. If you're going to serve Star Sooth, and we can stick it because I hate how much power the Lich Queen Visibadiroth has. I hate how whatever she wants done gets done. I hate it.
Yes, you've mentioned this a few times.
Can I just like slide up to him and like stick him to me and
Oh,
try to
God, that's
move away
upsetting.
with it?
Sure. Make another kind of sleight of hand check to try to do this in such a way that you don't get any part of you stuck.
Be right back.
Yeah. So that's a modified 0.
You take 4 points of necrotic damage as it sizzles, but you do manage to stick this goblin onto you.
Okay, and then I'll just try to just
Make
leave
an
with
athletics check. That I suspect you'll be okay at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I just
Really-
pulled up Bone Spell's ass.
No, I'm not really good at anything.
Yeah, that's a
13.
13. What's interesting about that is your modifier for strength would be
Oh,
what?
sorry. Natural 13.
Natural 13.
Yeah.
There we go.
there
We
we
have
go.
one, ladies and gentlemen. The natural
Finally.
13. Light it up, everyone. All right, so our first one from tonight.
Oh,
is
yeah,
going to
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to light it up.
And let's just give this a little roll. Horror Surge would be great right now, let's face it. It is not. I roll a D. However, as this happens... Oh, and I gotta do this part, sorry.
Yes,
There
sir.
we go. Advance it one. As this happens, the cloaked figure, Stremzaz, kind of like, what was that?
What was what?
Drifts away from the door you are, begins kind of walking around out back in the foyer. And never came into this room, was just at the door of this room looking in, but is now looking around the foyer. In the distance, those of you with like anyone who has a perception of a passive of like 13 or higher, which might only be Dylan, hears like a bunch of like cat calling and sounds from outside.
Can I take a peek outside?
Sure. You see that the lich, or the not lich, the cloaked figure who's walking around, is like they're catcalling. The cloaked figure is looking around, looks outside, sort of steps out of view, kind of like towards the little entry hall, like the 5-10 foot entry hallway you guys came in, and you do see you have a 15 passive.
Yeah.
You do see as she's like walking out, like the hands are going up to the cloak. You then hear from outside cacophonous screaming and yelping. And then she walks back in, kind of cloak back up, and continues looking around, seeming very concerned about something. Meanwhile, with your 10, pulling this creature off the wall, you snap the feet and one of the arms off, but the rib cage is perfectly intact where it was. And the little goblin spirit is, or the little goblin kind of skeleton's like, oh, blimey. I feel like I hate nothing but the power of Visibadiroth herself will get me off this wall. I hate that. Why can't it be the power of Star Sooth would get me off this wall? I'd like to know. Cool.
Is there anything on the ceiling?
The ceiling is just the same. No, it's kind of like a curved roof upward, of the same sort of stone, kind of coming to like a rounded point above.
There was like vaulted.
Sure, let's say it's vaulted. That sounds good. Let's say it's vaulted ceiling. That's fun.
It feels very spacious in here.
I'm gonna test. I'm gonna start testing something.
Okay.
'Cause it's. Well, if I touch the wall, just like not anywhere near this, just touch the actual stone of the wall, does anything happen to me?
You take 2 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Ow. Okay. I was gonna try. Sorry, everyone. I was gonna try to like climb up there, but now seems like it might be a bad idea.
You get the impression based on the doors and stuff, the floor is made of this weird green metal. Anytime anyone has touched the black stone, I think it's okay to, like, Dylan can maybe spell this out to all the monsters. The black stone seems to deal 1d6 necrotic damage per round that you're in contact with it.
It's kind of like this game we used to play, but different. Like this game, I guess we call it "The Floor Is Not Lava."
The walls are lava.
This sounds like a very weird game. You are a weird person.
Dylan, are you proficient in insight?
I am not.
Then go ahead and make an insight check. The DC is a little higher, sadly, because...
Well, that's a 5.
Cool.
I don't have a -8 to that ability score. Is that a skill?
Fair enough. I assume none of the rest of you are proficient in insight.
But I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Dylan, were all the other hearts identical?
They all look the same. Yeah.
Except for this one.
Yeah. Do you want to try eating one of the regular ones?
It could be tasty.
It could be. What do the rest of the hearts look like?
They look much more recognizably human hearts.
They look like hearts of my kind of people. I paid a little attention in science class.
You keep saying you're not delicious, but your heart looks very delicious.
True.
I'm just saying.
Well, but I mean, like, my body is really, like, lean and dry and sinewy, right? Like...
Right, but, like, sometimes it is, like, you like having the effort to get to the sweet center. Like cinnamon roll. I have made this analogy before.
But how is it?
Apt in this
But
situation.
it's not difficult to eat a cinnamon roll.
Right, but, like, the outside of cinnamon roll is less appetizing than the inside of cinnamon roll.
Especially if it's a tailed Cinnabon that sets just the inside at that point.
Yes, exactly.
Also, I know, man. But maybe that if you eat the hearts of your people, you'll get stronger, right? Like, wouldn't that be like adding more heart into you?
True. Double the heart.
I ate his heart through my hand and I felt stronger.
Well,
You should try it.
no, thank you.
And more for me, I guess. I'll go try and eat another heart.
Cool. You grab the heart. The heart you grab and all the hearts around turn black and rotted and dark. And you take... Let's just roll this with all metal. I'm trying to go all metal tonight. Wow.
That's a great thing to hear.
The lowest on the D4 on the D6s is a 4.
Mom suggested it just for the record.
10. You take 28 points of damage.
Okay. I'm unconscious.
Even with your 5 temp?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, and now the hearts are all kind of like black and like, kind of like radiating this darkness.
Okay, maybe that was the wrong thing. Oh, wait, yeah, maybe that was the wrong thing. I'm just gonna try to go push the box over.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Make an athletics check. That's fine. Is anyone going over to the one on the ground dead? Probably not. That's fine. Go ahead and make a first death save.
I don't really care.
Yeah, it's not that kind of game. I get it.
We are friends, but we are not friends.
Help you.
I don't even know his name.
You wanted to eat
More of
me.
a work-colleague relationship.
What was your athletics check?
3.
3. You are like you've never encountered. It's like you almost like slip up the side of it, like it doesn't move at all, and you're like you kind of crash down, kind of in the center of the room on the floor. The guy there says, "Wow, I suspect that not even the power of the Lich Queen Visibadiroth could open that. Who am I kidding? Her power can do anything."
I'm gonna
You're
say.
not very fun at parties, are you?
I mean, I'm just irritated at something. It's like by her word alone, mountains is moved and alliances is struck and all that.
I'm gonna try going up to the box and saying, "Open by the power of the Lich Queen Visibadiroth."
Cool, the box disappears, the wall of force shatters, and just coins fall out in all directions. See what I'm telling you? I feel like I've been kind of beating you over the head with that for a while. No one had an insight score, so that's fine.
It's okay.
Oh, boy. Yeah, just treasure spills out.
Wow.
I just
Let's make another death save for old Gloomtooth.
I'll just start rolling in the coins.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, you
Oh.
pop up with 1 hit point.
I'm just gonna take one of the coins and put it in my pocket. Just like that's all I can carry, right?
Sure.
And I look at Gloomtooth. We figured out the problem.
Look, with that one there, yeah. I hate how her word can do anything. It's absolutely disgusting, it is.
By
Did I
the
do it?
power of Lord Visibadiron, show us the way to finish this dungeon without dying.
What?
That was worth a shot. All right.
I see what you're going for, but what? You're in a dungeon? Wait, we're in a dungeon?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Blimey, that's terrible.
Did I do it?
Oh. I'm gonna go up to the goblin skeleton and say, "Well, I can try this. I released you from the wall by the word of the Lord Visibadiroth."
He'll sort of be like, Lich Queen, but it's probably close, and you kind of, and suddenly falls off the wall. However, no longer has legs or one arm, so kind of like falls down just like on one, kind of clatters down. I'm gonna have that be 1 bludgeoning damage, so 3 points of damage to the skeleton. As a jammy kind of just,
I hate that worked. Oh, blimey. Oh, I hate goblins. So ridiculous did that.
kind of starts like pulling himself in a direction. However, behind him, the wall has kind of like given way, and there is a small, like 5-foot passage leading into a little vestibule within. In this hidden chamber, you see another pile of treasure. Gold coins kind of piled about like 4 or 5 feet in a much sort of slenderer space. I also should mention that Dylan, the treasure thing that you had over there, on top of it were a couple things that maybe kind of stuck out a bit. One was a ring, and one was a rapier in a sheath.
Is there anything I can use, having no hands?
No.
Well, shit.
Of those objects, no. However, in
which
this,
one of those two looks more intriguing to me, the ring or the rapier?
make an Arcana check. You might vaguely remember magic things here or there.
That's a 3.
Actually, the coin you picked up is probably your best bet.
Great, cool, yeah.
But in this thing, Dylan, that you've cleared, and so are you're just picking everything up on your shell, all the gold?
Yeah, I'm just
okay, cool.
I'm just sticking as much of it as I can.
It'll take you a minute to get everything that was inside of that sort of like chest of force up, but yeah, you can.
Can I take the ring and put it on my toe?
Sure. The ring that this is from the center room. Yeah, the ring. The ring, as you put it on your toe, it's hard for you to wiggle it on. The design of it is strange. It's kind of like red metal. And as you slip it on your toe, you feel, like as soon as you do, in your ears, you feel one of your heartbeats like a crushing wave. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that is trippy.
Boom, boom. You think you would have to attune to this for a while to know what it really does. And then there is that rapier blade there. In the room that you've now opened up, Dylan, you see this pile of treasure. On top of it, there seems to be a dagger in a sheath and another little ring.
I'll look at Gloomtooth and I'll say, "Hey, do you want? There's a dagger in there, and that kind of seems to be your thing. And you and I are the only ones with hands here. So how about I take the sword out here, you take the dagger in there?"
Yes, I like this idea. It's a good stabby dagger.
Okay.
I'll take the dagger.
So you go in to take the dagger. This couldn't be better. As you enter that room to take the dagger, I guess technically it is a roll though. So
Wait, weren't you unconscious?
he rolled a nat
rolled a
20 and
nat
got a hit
20.
point. That
The only
is
time I've ever rolled a nat
popped.
20 on a death save.
Does a 16 hit your armor class, Gloomtooth?
Yes, it does.
So you are suddenly smacked by a bunch of force damage, taking 8 points of damage in the process as you are sort of sprawled back out unconscious again. And there appears to be some shape shifting here. I do need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative at this point.
Right, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, as something just shoved you and you don't know what. All right, friends and neighbors and relations. Are any of you over 20 or higher? Okay, anybody 15 or higher? Anybody roll a natural 13?
No, I rolled a natural 14.
Understood.
Plus 0.
That gets you to a 14. Great. Okay, so 14 for my boy Flomp. Anybody else over 10?
12 for Bluetooth.
12 for GT, for gin and tonic. What does Dylan have?
6.
And what does David have?
Negative.
-1.
-1 initiative. That's kind of incredible.
I love it.
This one is in fact a... Okay, great.
It's the most Pierce roll ever.
Okay, and then this was a... Oh.
Sure, that's like a stack overflows, so it loops back around, so you're actually at like 21.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of... Yeah. I mean, occasionally
I'm at the top of the next round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're skipping this round, but then you are at the top.
It's a snaking
Moving to
initiative for me.
Exactly. Well, there's a fun thing where, like, sometimes there's things where it's like this happens on initiative count 0, but you'll always get to go right after that. All right. So that is Tremzas. Wonderful. Okay. Flomp, you are up first. So what you saw was just kind of like suddenly the Gloomtooth was just thrown aside.
I'm going to step out of the line of sight of the passageway, and if anything comes out, I will bite it.
Understood. Excellent. All right. Next up is Stremzaz, who... Like, you hear like a chuckling laugh from still outside, and has never come into this room where you are, but you hear Stremzaz like moving about outside laughing. Great. Next up is a creature. So, having thrown you on the ground, yeah, that's what they would do. Dylan. Because you've kind of moved out of the way and you're just going to whatever. Dylan, since you're there. Dylan, I need you to make a strength or charisma check. Your choice.
Well, a strength check is an even roll, whereas a charisma check is a -2, so it'll be strength.
Great.
Oh my god, that was so close to being a natural 20 when it's an 8.
So, Dylan, you are picked up. And you hear this kind of like ghostly, like, and
So-
go ahead.
I do have a question. So because I was going for the rapier at the same time, Gloomtooth was going for the dagger, would I have picked up the rapier at this point?
I think you have the rapier, yes.
Okay.
I think you have it in hand. But you are picked up off the ground and then you are flung into the wall. I need you to roll for me. Are you going to try to like move in the air at all?
I would like to.
Okay,
I'd like to try and not hit the wall.
Make an acrobatics check in that case.
12.
12. Okay. You want to not hit the wall?
I would love to not hit the wall.
Okay, cool. With a 12, I'm gonna say you go flying at the wall. You are going to take the 1d6 damage per feet move. We'll say you only got kind of thrown like 10 feet. So you're gonna take this just from like the general like force of being thrown, but you're not hitting the necrotic. So you take 2 points of damage as you make contact. But since you were trying not to hit the wall and kind of trying to go, make a dexterity saving throw for me. As basically what you're trying to do is brace yourself against those skeletons.
Non-natural 13.
Non-natural 13. With a 13, I am going to say that you do just barely manage like skeleton, like rib cages are cracking under your hand. and like that like black heart is like in your face as you're like kind of like, you know, hanging off the thing, but you have not touched it. But it's like you could if you move forward a centimeter, it'll touch your nose. Mm-hmm. That is.
Did something come out of the thing?
Flomp, you feel an invisible presence moving past you. You may make a held action attack.
I chomp at it.
Go ahead. It is at disadvantage. You cannot see it.
It is the Flomp chomp. All right, I will attack. At disadvantage, that is a 15.
A 15 hits. Roll your damage.
What is my damage? 1d6 plus 1. 3 damage.
3 damage.
15
You feel like your chomp did make contact, but probably didn't do as much as it should against this spectral, non-corporeal presence.
That is unfortunate.
All right. Next up in our round is good old Gloomtooth. Let's get another death save. You can get another 20. You can do it.
It'll happen now where this game doesn't matter for longer.
What
Let's
do you
see.
think?
Well, this...
I can't show you this, but I actually did roll another natural 20.
You're up with a hit point. What would you like to do?
Holy crap.
Gloomtooth will not die.
I'd like to cry that I've never had these death saves before.
Exactly.
Is that my turn? Does that happen at the start of my turn?
No, it's the start of your turn. You always make a death save at the start of your turn.
Yeah.
So you can spend 15 feet of movement and stand if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Do I have the dagger that I was trying to get?
You actually would not quite have that. You were reaching for it as soon as you went into that kind of like that little vestibule. That's when you were hit.
Can I see it?
You can see it.
Can I try and get it?
You can. I'll say with sort of sitting back up and going to it, that'll use another. So you'll have 5. You could move 5 feet if you wanted to get out.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Kind of just like as a free action, can I draw the dagger? Like
You go over to the dagger. You pull it. Are you going to start walking back out?
yeah.
Okay. As you leave that space, feel terrible about this. As an op attack upon leaving the reach, though it is a disadvantage because it can't see you. Like you feel something like grasping at your legs from like kind of like down at the bottom of the floor. That's a 15, so that will be a 20 if it hits, but it is disadvantage. It cannot really see you. That is a 6, so that is 11.
11 does not hit.
11. So you feel something slapping at you, like rough back there, but it does not hit you. So you still have an action if you want, but you are now kind of like just back outside of that little chamber, holding this dagger.
Can I see what Flomp is fighting? Or can I see that he's bit into something?
You see that Flomp has bit something that is invisible. Yes, you see Flomp is attacking something that cannot be seen.
I have no movement left, right?
You have no movement yet, but you could always dash.
I'll dodge.
Take the dodge action. So you're just dodging there in case anything comes for you. Very smart thing to do, I think. Very smart thing to do, actually. Okay, Dylan, you are up.
Do I kind of have a sense of where this thing still is?
You absolutely have a sense of where this thing is, yes.
How far away is it from me right now?
Oh, like 20 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out the rapier.
Okay.
Looks cool, I assume.
It looks metal as fuck. The blade is red, like blood red, like crimson,
cool.
but like shining and like mirrored reflective. The hilt for it is like just like also kind of very ornate and carved, and it has all of these runes. Do you speak any other languages, Dylan?
Leet speak?
It is not in Leet speak, so yes, unfortunately, you do not recognize.
Oh my god.
You do not recognize anything of it, but yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna. What is the Lich Queen's name again? I forgot.
Visibadiroth.
I'm gonna dodge and I'm gonna say, in the name of the Lich Queen, Visibadiroth, go away.
Okay.
And that's my turn. I'm gonna actually. Can I then move behind the big snail?
Sure. You
Yeah.
kind of move over to the big snail. You do not attack. Great. That's Dylan's turn. Speaking of the big snail, we are now at initiative count -1. You are, and Dylan, you say that at this presence. That's
Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool.
How much coinage have I gathered at this point?
You've gathered most of the coinage.
Okay. So over in one corner we've got Flomp and Gloomtooth fighting something. Dylan is near me. Is the door still open?
The door to the room, or the door? There's two doors open. The door
out.
The door that you came through is still open. Absolutely.
Great. I'm gonna double move towards it.
All right. You double move to the door. You're
so that's 30 feet.
Oh, 30 feet. Yeah. So you're out of it. You're back in the foyer now.
Okay. And as I do, I'm just muttering. I just say we should burn it down. That's what solved the problem. Just burned it down.
Okay. Perfect. Top of the round, Dylan. You were not directing your thing. Generally, you were saying it specifically at that presence. So, to my good friend, I'm actually gonna. There's a general one on the show, but I will give a quick trigger warning on the following one because it's pretty darn gross. Coming out from under all the treasure at you, Gloomtooth, is this just flopping mass of flesh. That has been sloughed off, just kind of like boneless skin and blood and such, is kind of coming towards you. Now, it is going to be attacking you at disadvantage because you are dodging. So strike one from this boneless beast is a 7. Strike two from this boneless beast is an 8.
Also miss.
So it's kind of you're this blood everywhere, but you're and you got this dagger in hand. Great. Okay. Flomp, it is your turn. So Jeremy, that's you because you're Flomp.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I mean, who wouldn't? Oh, Flomp.
I see the thing shamble out of the treasure mound.
Yeah.
And I see David book it the fuck out of the room. So I'm going to release my jaws from the leg of this phantasmal creature, disengage, and head the hell out of the room.
Okay, so
Appreciate your generous use of the word "book it."
You also you rush out of the room, easily surpassing the thing. Do you just stop in the foyer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I say, Strenzas, you said there was treasure in there. You did not mention the scary ghost man and the loose bag of skin that is murdering.
I was unaware of such things, but, I mean, one must assume some risk when taking treasure, especially when I was very clear you'll pay in blood.
I mean, when you put it like that, I seem like I'm in the wrong here.
Even so, this is most interesting. And kind of Stremzaz just kind of shuffles over, just sort of watching, kind of skeletal hands like this. The next thing that happens with you told to be gone, basically, Dylan. What was the exact words you said? Go away?
Go away, yeah.
Go away is a pretty clear thing. So, the poltergeist is going to try to go away as fast as possible. I will say that, so first of all, David, you feel something moving past you.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything?
No.
Okay, you feel like a presence moving past you, and then you feel one moving past you as well. Flomp.
I'm just going to pretend I don't exist. If I stand very still.
Understood. Basically, so in other words, this is entirely in case people want to make op attacks, is why I'm mentioning it.
I do not want to provoke the ire of something that is not attacking me.
Beautiful.
There are already enough things that are.
All right. So with that, you sort of see this, and you guys see the hooded face watching as it passes over you, then going to the entry, and then you hear kind of a snarl, and then the hooded face watches as something has re-entered this room, and you're not exactly sure, David and Flomp, where Stremzaz is looking, but She seems kind of, her body language is like, and kind of just turns back. All right. Gloomtooth, it is your turn. You are muted, I think.
Gloomtooth sees everybody else running away.
Mm-hmm.
And Gloomtooth thinks this is a good idea. I will, I'm aware that the monster was trying to attack me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. I will disengage as an action.
Okay.
And then I will move towards the door.
You disengage, rush to the door, carrying that dagger in your hand. Great.
Yes.
Dylan, you are next.
I don't like how you emphasized I was carrying the dagger, but... Okay.
Dylan?
Is there a way that I can get kind of in the middle of everyone so that like if someone were to come attack, there would be a more easier target to
Sure.
hit?
I mean, right now you're the only person left in the room.
I want to leave. Yeah.
You want to leave the room, so you're going to rush out of the room and try to get in the midst of all of them out there. Sure, moving a double action.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And as I'm leaving, I'm going to yell, "In the name of the Lich Queen Visibadiroth, I want all things that live here to let us pass."
Okay. You call that out. You make it out there, and then you kind of hear this like scraping skeletal something or another as this kind of like half torn up goblin skeleton on the ground who's just been trying to crawl out from this is like, could you say something about go ahead. Actually it is your turn, David.
I'm just gonna keep trying to leave.
You're gonna leave the entire building?
I'm just gonna try to head home.
You can leave the building.
Told to get treasure. I got treasure.
As you're leaving, though, you hear Stremzar saying, "Stop. You're not to take any treasure yet. You've not paid for it." Do you continue?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. You head out with your movement. You basically just get out of the building with your double dash. Great. Top of the thing, the boneless kind of comes over and is going to attack at advantage this prone skeleton. And just you guys suddenly hear it's got I just got crack, and it gets wrapped up by these bones, which start to crush around it. For a few moments, you see it using the bones to give itself a bit more shape. But it is shifting around, and eventually the cries of that skeleton grow quiet. Cool, tight. But you did say to let us go,
dear.
so it's not following you, it's just kind of chomping on that one. Flomp, it is your turn. So basically at this point, David has made it has just cleared the threshold out of this place. What would you like to do? And the Visibadiroth seems to be saying that's not cool.
I don't really care, so I would just follow behind
Visibadiroth or?
Sorry, the Stremzaz. That is not a Freudian slip. It is Stremzaz. I just typed that to you in chat, so yes. Stremzaz seems to not feel cool about that.
I will follow behind, but kind of 5 feet, 10 feet behind, and just kind of see what happens.
10 feet behind. Perfect. Okay.
So you're moving 5.
So you kind of just get up behind. Perfect. That brings Stremzaz's turn. So, Stremzaz steps forward, and there's multiple artwork I can show you, but I'm going to show you, even though it's in black and white, the official 5e version, even though the 4e one is also very rad. Stremzaz steps forward, puts her hands on her cowl, and draws it back, revealing a skeletal skull head with 2 gemstone eyes in the sockets. One is burning red, the other sucking black. The burning red one goes straight for David. David, would you please make a ha 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 dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, this will be fine. Six.
Cool. So you fail.
What?
And you take... Oh, it's D10s, not D6s. Jesus.
Oh, man.
8 D10 fire damage. That's rude. Okay, so that'll be 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's just see how this goes. Oof. 10, 20.
I'm unconscious.
28. Oh, you're unconscious?
Yeah, let's see how much damage, though. You could kill me outright.
I think how much damage, how much do you have total?
27.
You're already down
52?
some, too.
52 points is what you gotta get to.
52?
Yeah.
Well, what didn't you have already lost?
Oh, right, sorry. Oh, no, sorry. So that would be 40 something. 45?
Cannot do math. Wait, 10, 20, I get to 43.
Okay, so I'm not dead outright.
You're not dead, but you've done it. However, no, technically you won't be. You are on fire, and you're going to take damage at the start of every turn of your turns. Okay. But you are a fire, but sort of she does that, and like this like laughing skeletal face of this eyes, and one just shot out, and she's just like cackling. With this, the poltergeist does something. Gloomtooth, it is your turn. You're muted again.
Well, shit. Gloomtooth, am I still in the room? The previous room?
No, you've made it out of the room. You said you disengaged, so you made 30 feet.
Okay.
You're in the foyer, you just kind of saw this happen.
Okay.
As this bone whelk is smoking and wow.
I'm just gonna try and just like back into a shadow somewhere and try and be unnoticeable while this is going on.
Okay. You're backing like into a shadow?
Not into the wall, but like maybe a darker corner where there's no torches.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty dark inside those like open skulls.
Yeah, maybe not.
Really?
No, he's not that stupid. He's got a 10.
Yeah, he does have a 10 in. That's a good one.
Yeah, so, yeah. I'm just gonna, stand real still. Preferably somebody else is the target of this.
You're just moving on. Well, so far it seems to be exclusively on the one who was leaving with treasure.
I just want to hide right now.
Understood. Tell you what, it's a very high DC with whatever, because it's not really place high, but go ahead and just make a stealth check just for the heck of it. Just sneaking around, like, do. Nobody look at me, nobody look at me.
Well, that was a 13 on the dice, first of all.
Okay.
And plus, I am proficient in stealth, so 17 total.
17. Okay, so you are actually being like pretty sneaky. You're definitely not going to be the first creature anyone notices in here.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
No, I've learned the art of standing so still that I become invisible.
That is a 1 on behalf of Anthony. And now let us roll. Give me a Y or a Z. That would be so fucking rad. J. Whatever. Who cares? All right. Delightful. That is your turn. Dylan, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna say to Gloomtooth and to Flomp. So maybe we shouldn't leave yet. And then I'm gonna turn around and look at the door to the middle room and say, door in the name of the Lich Queen Visibadiroth, open.
The door swings open. Which is interesting because you also have the key, which is that rapier. You could have just... But
oh, great, cool.
Good. Either way, yeah, it's double open for you, sir. So yes, it goes open. And the sort of figure there, like, kind of does like a... as if that's somehow... to her liking. It is your turn. So the first thing that happens to you on your turn is that you take damage. It says at the start of your turn, but you also make the death saving throw at the start of your turn.
Oh, sorry, you're talking to me.
So
Yeah,
sorry,
so
David. Yes. So David, would you like to make your death save first?
I was going to ask you about order of operations. One of them greatly benefits me, and one of them greatly hurts me. One of them basically makes my saving throws pointless. The other gives me a fighting chance.
Well, I would also say is in the other Wizards of the Coast property, Magic the Gathering, when you have two things triggered at the same time on the stack, you can choose which way to order them.
Yeah, you may choose which way to order them.
Okay, then I will take the damage first and take a death fail, and then attempt to try to save
You'll
out
take
of it.
2 death fails because it's.
I thought that was only melee attacks.
It's only melee
I thought
attack.
it's any damage source. No,
It's a
okay, fair
crit.
enough. Fair enough.
Any melee attack is a crit. That's why it's 2 fails.
Copy. So you take some damage.
Okay, so one fail, and
But
then
if you roll a
try
nat
to
1
save.
right now, it's a fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it says you're dead. That's right.
16.
16. So a fail and a success. Great. The boneless creature is eating the goblin. Flomp, what would you like to do? Your also like flame is like rising up out of the body of the bone whelk, and it looks like it's like both burning and like trying to sort of struggle to survive. I guess point of order, what happened to that ring that was in the pile of treasure? Did you take
It's on my toe.
That's right, the ring is on your toe. Perfect. Okay. So, Flomp, what are you doing?
Is there anything through the door that they opened?
Back behind you, you'd have to like go back in to see it. You'd have to re-enter that because you were like running out
Which
of the
door opened?
the main door behind, like the door in the center. The door she said
Right.
was all the treasure.
I'm in that room. Aren't
No,
I?
you were in the foyer. You told me
Oh.
you said you were running. You guys left you left the room on the right. You were in the foyer, the center room. The David, I will never remember the name David. I don't know why I can't do it. David began fleeing. Stremzaz hit David with fire. However, you said you were fleeing right after David, so you were 5 feet behind David. So
10 feet behind David. It was 10 feet.
Sure. And so you're 10 feet, so you're turning around and going back to the room that just opened up.
I'm gonna be like, haha, just kidding. I was just joking. I'm such a kidder. Haha.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back into the main room. Is there anything behind the open door?
Behind the open door, yes, you see kind of walking there, and if you wanted to dash, you could enter this chamber. There is a sarcophagus in the middle of the room. There are some other kind of like strange cases written around, but what's notable about this room is that the floor is made of that stone. And graven into it are these like deep sort of trenches in strange arcane sigils, all of which seem to slope down in kind of like a circular thing towards the sarcophagus.
It's made of the painful stone?
It's made of the painful stone. The floor in there is made of the painful stone. There's like a
walls?
ring around the circular chamber of the green metal, so you can like walk around the outside and access everything, but the sarcophagus in the middle is within all of that, and yeah.
So if I go into the hallway or if I go into the room, I can stand on the green metal?
You can stand on the green thing around the center. I mean, yeah.
I'm just going to stand by the doorway.
Kind of stand at the door, kind of where you and Dylan are at that door looking in. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to take the dodge action.
Understood. Great. All right, Flomp. Stremzaz returns her hood. She will walk up to the bone whelk on the ground and just kind of like gash into it a couple of times, and sort of like look out at all the people there. So she's gonna attack you on the ground, with her hand.
Okay.
Which will hit, and B2 fails and kill you.
So when I die, I shriek horribly. There is this blood-curdling shriek.
Perfect.
That can be heard 120 feet away.
Okay.
I need to know who is within 2 feet of me.
2
10
feet?
feet of me. 10 feet, sorry.
10 feet of you is only Stremzaz.
Okay. This is so pointless, but fine. Stremsaz is going to take, of course it's a good roll, 13 points of necrotic damage. I have a feeling that's not going to do anything.
It does the tiniest little bit. Just as, but it does something. Okay. Stremzaz kind of chuckles slightly, and kind of like slides your carcass kind of back in a bit, but then starts walking kind of the other, kind of ends in the foyer having attacked, and just says, "You've opened it, and how foolish of this one to flee. So much good blood in there. Now you have your work cut out for you. So, we can pause initiative at this point if you'd like. Stremzaz is no longer, the hood is back up. Stremzaz is not actively attacking anyone, but if anyone still wants to like do anything, contested or stealing treasure or such, you can.
Is the living skin suit still a thing?
The living skin suit's still a thing, but it's in that chamber and it was told to let you all pass, and so it is not coming after any of you.
Gloomtooth will peel himself out of whatever shadows he's hiding in.
Oh, where did you come from?
So, do we have to? What do you need us to do now so we can leave?
Blood. You
What?
must.
You got out.
Like where and how much and
Blood. You must fill it with blood.
all the lines running down there?
Correct.
Hey, terrifying skin suit thing. By the power of the Lich Lord, visible Pyra.
It doesn't have any blood.
She'll kind of
to this thing.
She'll kind of chuckle and say, "No, living blood."
That is a bit of more of a problem, huh? I'm very tiny. I do not have much blood in me.
Well,
Small.
you've brought your many spectators. I frightened many of them off, but perhaps. Speaking of which, who are we bringing in now, Pierce?
Oh, do you want me? Okay. You want me to introduce?
Yeah.
Whoever we're gonna execute.
No, this one can kind of come. I mean, well, up to you guys. You may eventually need to execute some people.
All right, hang on. So,
Pick somebody who is very large and has lots
you
of blood.
see, he's not. You see, sort of walking up, sort of almost like limping with like a little bit of like a club foot almost, because one of his looks like a normal foot with a boot, and the other is like a large duck foot. It looks like kind of like a stout dwarf kind of size, but his face is more like dog-like, and one of his hands finishes into like almost like a crab claw. And sorry, am I running in now, or am I inside already?
When they saw the Bonewell get killed, they sent you because you were the next most problematic person. So you've been sent in to also bring treasure.
I see.
So you're kind of reporting for duty, basically.
Okay. This don't you know? It seems like it's gonna be a bit of a hassle here. Maybe we just grab everything off of the burning snail and get out of here.
She'll kill you with fire.
Well, I didn't really
will.
take any of the treasure. It's already outside, right?
She
Right.
dragged it back in.
It's actually mostly in that room over there,
Which room are you
Point to
pointing
it.
at?
the center room.
Okay.
You can go get it. We already opened the door.
This is true.
What is this character's name?
Grrr.
Gur? Okay, great.
Well, Gerd, as you know, I am very trustworthy. And I say, the best way to get the treasure would be to dive headfirst onto that sarcophagus.
That doesn't seem like a great idea.
This is fucking rude, you guys.
No, it's a great idea.
Also,
I see
before
what
we
you did there.
Philip, I do need you to tell me what my extraordinary feature is.
Oh, that's right. It's a roll, right?
D20.
Let's roll it. 14.
14. Ah. Well, wouldn't this have been great earlier? I have keen hearing and smell.
And the general appearance, though not the exact appearance, but that's the sort of vibe.
Oh boy.
Kind of, you see the webbed foot down and the herring, kind of just all sort of, yeah. So,
wait, so you're saying that what I need to do here is jump down go head first onto that sarcophagus.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if the head should go first, that seems like a you thing.
Was that the joke about the fact that I am a head and legs?
No.
That seems really insensitive.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's very
it is
rude.
kind of, yeah.
We
I'd
already
like to
did all
make
the
it up
hard
to
work.
me. Yeah, it's
All you've
true.
got
We
to
have
do
been
is
here
go
for
open
a
the
while.
sarcophagus.
Yes.
Stremzaz is behind Dylan right now. She's kind of just whispering. You are the one who should survive, not these abominations. I'm sure you feel this in your heart. The sword you hold is quite powerful, but so is the ring on the toe of that little monstrosity. Get it from it. And then you'll survive. You're a good boy. They're freaks. They're the ones whose blood should spill, not yours.
Can I just start like attuning to the ring as we have this conversation?
Sure. You can sort of sit down and try to attune to the ring. Again, the blood pumping in your ears is intense.
I focus real hard on my big toe.
Look
on
at
my right
him.
foot.
He's attuning to it. You should chop that toe off of him. Now, interestingly, when she's saying all of this, you hear none of it, and you don't really even notice. Whenever she talks to any of you, it's kind of a quieter moment, and it's just something odd about it.
There was another ring in the small alcove, right?
That is true.
What happened to it?
It's still in there amidst a lot of coins and treasure, displaced when a boneless thing came out for it.
I will turn towards Grr. And I will say, look, it's safe. And I'm going to walk into the room, but I'm going to stay on the metal part of the floor.
Okay.
Just say, come on, open the sarcophagus.
So both of you are in the room now on the oh no, you actually did not go in, Flomp. You stayed out. Okay, great. Okay.
All right. Well, I like the sort of example you're setting here. Then sure. If this is the plan, okay. I suppose I could hoof it in a little bit. I don't really. Just kidding. I don't have a hoof. It's actual. That's a real foot in that boot. And so I'll sort of walk up to the sarcophagus with Gloomtooth.
All right. As you begin walking on this stone, are you wearing shoes?
Oh, on one foot.
Then as soon as you step on it with the other foot, you think like through shoes it might take a little bit more time, but you do take 3 points of necrotic damage immediately. But you feel the blood drawing from you, and you do see that like in those little things, like blood is filled and begins running down towards the sarcophagus.
Can I stab him with my new dagger?
Sure.
Sorry, Piers.
You can stab. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, boy, this ring sure is fancy.
Your new dagger does require attunement, so it's just going to function like a normal dagger for now.
Normal dagger. Okay. That's a non-nat 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay.
It's not rolling that. I'm rolling one of these.
What is your passive perception given your gift?
It's just advantage. My passive perception is still 12. It's just
It would be 17. Because like advantage on things typically not everyone does this, but I usually say if you standing have advantage, you add 5 to
okay.
like that's like what the that's what the observant feat is supposed to represent.
Oh, okay.
It's like advantage on the whatever. Okay, so great. I take it back. It is non-attunement. So
What is?
you do in fact do 1 extra damage,
That's 5 piercing damage.
plus 1d6 acid. So roll that as well.
Damn.
6. 5 piercing damage plus 6 acid damage.
So you take 11 points of damage. I will, however, say, because your passive perception is so high against this little thing who just stabbed you, I'm going to say, like, before we roll initiative, you can attack back if you want to. If you have any unarmed strikes or things. You felt that coming enough that, like, before initiative is rolled, you can attack.
Sure. I'll turn around and I'll snap at him with my claw.
Go for it.
It's a natural 1.
You miss with the claw. Let's go ahead and roll initiative in that case.
It's funny because I have 1 point of health.
Yeah. Oh, no, we all know why it's funny.
That is a 15 for Gloomtooth.
Gloomtooth with a 15. Great. Anybody over 20?
Nope.
Anybody 15 or higher?
17.
17 for old Dylan.
Blood for the Blood Lily.
What do you have for Flomp?
11.
11 for Flomp.
I'll
Okay.
be right back.
And then what do we have for our good friend, Gur? 4. All right, Gur. That's unfortunate. Okay. And then, okay, cool. All right, so, Dylan, you're up first. You see this happen kind of within the room. You're not in the room yet. You see that, kind of like the sort of, the Gloomtooth has kind of like is staying on that green and has attacked this mongrel folk who's come in, who's just over the stone, bleeding into it. Interestingly, however, Dylan, you, with your passive perception, notice that just with the blood that has already been spilled, one of these other cases near the sarcophagus has opened.
Can I tell what's inside the case?
You would have to like go around to look in it. It's like it hasn't like it's just like it's like unlocked and there's kind of mist or something within. And there's all these other cases kind of around, like seeming to hold other objects. They have locks on them. They look like wardrobes or chests or something. And they're some different sizes. This one's there. So you do notice that. As do you actually, Gur, but you're probably focusing on other things right now. And all those, I should say one last thing, all those chests are like, they're like, those are all accessible around the room. They're on the stone, but they are, like, you can get to them from the green ring around the room.
Okay, okay, so I want to, is there a way, can I go? How far would I need to move to get past, to get around the ring past Gloomtooth?
You want to do it with, so Gloomtooth could not op attack you, is that what you're asking?
Well, I don't think Gloomtooth's gonna op attack me, like, we're probably on the...
No, you can, Gloomtooth, like, I'm imagining that Gur walked straight in, and Gloomtooth's kind of like, was like, just like kind of stepping to the side around, you know, so they're right there in the door. They're very nearby. So you can move around them, certainly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna check that out and try and sneak past, and then as I get past Gloomtooth, I want to whisper at him, the little one said he's gonna take you out because you're weak, and then keep moving.
Great. Love it. So you move around the side, and you come to that sort of closet, chest, wardrobe thing. You open it up. Within it, you see a dark leather-bound tome. A book. Mist kind of pouring out around it.
I'll try and take it.
All right. You can take that without any issue.
Great. I'm just gonna turn around and watch and see what happens.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. That was the first. So that was, I'll phrase it like this: 14 points of damage of blood were just dealt there, And that did seem to trigger something. Maybe not almost, like it almost took all of that blood. Not quite. I wonder what that could mean. Cool, Dylan. Gloomtooth, you are up next.
A multi-deck.
You're going to take some swings?
Yeah.
All right, take your first shot.
Just out of curiosity, my default is 3 multi-attacks because I have 3 daggers. And now I have 4 daggers.
I think you have
hands.
3. I think the idea is that you have 3.
It was worth a try.
Shoot your shot. Fair enough.
All right. First attack, we'll say it with the special dagger, is a 19 to hit.
A 19. That hits. So roll the damage. So it is
5 piercing plus 3 acid.
8.
Okay.
Second attack is only a 10 to hit.
That will miss.
Miss. Okay. Third attack is a natural 1.
So the powerful dagger misses, but you kind of flip up to each side. Great. Flomp, you are up next. You were trying to attune, but now some actions are taking. But if you want to, you can just sit there and keep on attuning.
Well, I'm going to shout, "Will you keep it down in there? I'm trying to concentrate," and then I'll continue to attend.
Great. Stremzaz watches all of this, kind of maybe preparing something, but ready for whatever. Grrr, you are up.
Alright, I will take my multi-attack. So first I will attempt to bite Gloomtooth.
Actually, well, the first thing that happens, I'm so sorry to tell you this, is you're standing on the stone. However, you take 3 points of damage.
Okay. Still around.
So that is another 3 into the thing. Okay, go ahead.
I presume that a 6 will miss you.
A 6 does miss, yes.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to swing my claw again. Okay, but that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Goes Gloomtooth.
Okay, so
For the third time.
Another
Gloomtooth.
nat
So,
20.
and a third. Yeah, you do a third attack as well.
I don't do a third attack.
Oh, you only do 2. Okay,
Oh,
cool. So
it's-
you
yeah.
you chomp into Gloomtooth. Now, I'm actually going to let you make a decision here. You've attacked Gloomtooth, who was on the green. Do you want? Are you going to use any movement at all?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get to a place where I'm not going to be.
Go on, just you can kind of step back onto this green stuff because you see that that wasn't hurting you until you stepped into the stone. You only stood there for like a couple things, but then you got stabbed a bunch to the back. What are you going to do with Gloomtooth?
I'm going to throw him back down on the ground where I was.
Onto the stone.
Yeah.
Perfect. Gloomtooth, you are dead. No death saves.
Yeah.
And your 1 hit point of blood that was dealt there brings us to 26. So Dylan and Gurr, you both see another chest. Grr, open. Gurr, I will say with your 25 feet of movement remaining, you could reach it to that if you wanted to.
Sure. I'll go for it.
Move over there.
Yeah,
Great.
that seems like something to do.
You head over and you open this chest, and what you see within is a set of what looks like there's kind of like a sextant, some like magnifying glasses. It's not exactly alchemical equipment, but it's definitely like magical testing equipment, you know, tricks of the trade for wizardry and such.
Some fancy doodads.
Exactly. Go ahead and decide what your next creature that's coming in, by the way, is, Anthony, because we're not technically out of this, and we're still at initiative. Go ahead and roll initiative on whoever that is, then, just for me. Just you whatever you are, you just saw what happened to Gloomtooth from outside.
Initiative is going to be a 8.
8, great. Okay. We'll get to that character's name in a moment. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, you find some cool equipment from Gurr. Gurr was the last in initiative order, so top of the round is Dylan.
I want to, so I'm gonna gesture at Gurr, and I'm gonna go like gesture at the door and then gesture short, and then point down at the thing. I want to move around back to like the outside the door. As I'm going, I'm like, I want to yell, "Flump, help! He killed Gloomtooth."
Understood.
And-
So just for I understand, you are gesturing to Flomp, but then you are trying you're coming back out of the door, back out to the foyer.
So I'm not going to leave. I want to be right on the inside of the door. I'm gesturing at Gur. I'm trying to communicate with Gur.
Make a performance check, Dylan.
Not the worst performance check Dylan has ever rolled in his life. That's going to be a 10.
Okay. I'm going to say that the general point you're trying to convey is coming across with a 10.
And then I want to wait to I'm going to hold an act. I want to be at the corner of the door, but like I want to try and be stealthy going there.
Okay. You haven't really taken an action yet, so I'll let you make a stealth check.
Well, here's the thing. I want to end up holding an action to shove Flump into the pit when he comes into the room.
Understood. Gotcha. So you want to put Flomp onto that stone.
Yeah, like knock him down so he tumbles, yeah.
Try to get him to tumble so it might take some. Okay, perfect. Gotcha. So yeah, in that case, you're not stealthy. You're just sort of there, but you're telling Flomp to come in and help. Your performance is a 10. Great. Gloomtooth is dead, no more. Body kind of just bleeding out of the thing. So Flomp, it is actually now your turn.
I hear that Gloomtooth was killed by Gur. I'm like, oh no, what a tragedy! And I continue returning to the ring.
Fair.
Because he doesn't give a shit.
Fair.
Okay. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, then in that case,
I probably would have been convinced, but before this started, I was like, he's just gonna sit here for the whole combat.
In that case, who is coming in now? Who just saw all this happening and is being sent down?
Coming in now is a small imp-like figure with cracked red skin and flames coming out of it. As
Baller. Good
Blazebug
choice.
announces, I rolled it, as Blazebug announces in a very high-pitched voice, "Where do we need the fire?"
Blazebug.
I point with my nose that way.
That is delightful. Okay, so Blazebug comes in. I will show you all a picture of a magman here. That's fine. But Blazebug, you are being pointed in. I'll say, just to the sake of whatever, you were moving in sort of here, so you can make it across the foyer, like just in there. You pass this thing, so you make it like you're not on the stone, but you're in that room.
Okay.
Okay. And all right, that would be dashing. You could make it into the room.
Can I stop just, I don't necessarily want to go all the way in the room. Can I stop just outside?
Sure.
Outside the room? I'd like
and,
to...
here is what Blazebug looks like.
Yes. And I'd like to actually turn to Stremzaz.
Okay.
Assuming she's nearby.
Yeah.
Be like, what's the plan here?
Stremzaz will lean down to you and say, "A creature of fire, noble."
And then kind of in a voice, and it's interesting because she's speaking, but you literally don't hear a word of this because this is actually telepathic. It's a conversation that you think is out loud, but is actually telepathic between you and thing. But she says,
"But the little one there with no arms is hoarding treasure. You should burn him and put him in that room and join him there. If you want a blaze of glory."
Meanwhile, I'm openly have my foot up in the
Yeah,
air in front of my face, looking at the ring.
staring at the ring.
Give me a minute, just one more minute, just one more minute.
That is what she will sort of say to you, Blazebug. Gur, it is your turn.
Alright, I think I probably picked up on what Dylan was putting down, so I'm gonna make my way over to sort of be by the door. Do I have any movement to get outside the door?
Yeah, you could walk outside. I mean, there's this kind of fiery little thing standing there, and then the one with the ring is... I'll say you can get to either of those creatures with your movement. Or Stremzaz, if you've really misunderstood the plan.
I'm gonna say based off of circumstantial evidence, my perception, and the fact that I'm,
Did you take that stuff from the cabinet?
Sure. Yeah, I understand we're supposed to get treasure.
Yeah, so you took all of those.
I'll come back and I'll
equipment pieces.
I'll sort of tuck that in a pack, and I'm gonna get up to Flump, and I'm just gonna try to, I guess, drag him into the room.
Oh, hello, girl. Ah!
Okay. That will be contested, so it's a athletics or acrobatic, or athletics from you, Gur, and athletics or acrobatics from you.
Definitely athletics is my one proficiency.
Okay.
So that is a 19.
It's a natural 20 plus 3.
So you are unable to pull. I don't know how it's staying where it is, but you're unable to pull it along.
I am one of my my one foot that isn't with the toes clamps onto the stone. And you cannot move me.
Dylan, it is your turn.
I'm gonna take a couple steps away from the door just to be safe, and I want to just kind of flip through the book and see if there's anything useful in here.
It does not appear to be in a language you read, but touching it makes you feel kind of empty inside.
That's not good. Okay.
It's not great.
I'm just gonna. Can I just hold a dodge action just in case?
Sure.
Or just dodge?
You can just take a dodge. Yeah, you don't need to hold. Just take a dodge.
Okay. Yeah. I will.
All right, Flomp. Your attunement has been sort of somewhat interrupted. What would you like to do? You're being pulled by someone, but you've managed to not be dragged.
I'm gonna kill him probably.
Okay.
Because obviously he's trying to do something that they
So you're
don't want to
attacking
deal with. Yes.
Good.
So 2 attacks. Both bites, because what the fuck else would I do?
Yeah, you don't have a club or anything. You're just
One is a 20 to hit, non-natural.
all right.
The other is a 7.
The 20 does hit, so go for it against poor Gur.
That's a 6 plus 1, so 7 damage.
All
7
right.
piercing damage.
So unfortunately, Gur takes some damage, and Gur does fall unconscious, having only had like 1 hit point. But the sorry, Gur, you had 4?
4.
You take 7.
Okay.
So you are down, but and then you hear Stremzaz kind of like leaning down to you and saying, "That was such a waste. That isn't paying blood. It's just wasted here on the ground."
I mean, he hit me. Or he tried to throw me into a thing, so I had to kill him.
If you really want to keep that ring, and you don't want me to burn you from the inside out, I'm going to need more blood.
You make a compelling argument.
Cool. Blaze Bug, it is your turn.
I go into the room.
Okay. Blaze Bug walks into the room.
There's a ring around the edges.
There's like green around the edges, and you do see Dylan like standing like 10 feet away, right, Dylan?
Yeah, like 10 feet away.
Reading a book, kind of also on that green. You see this kind of sloping stone ahead of you.
How far is it to the sarcophagus in the center?
It's about like 20 feet.
I am going to wait. I'm gonna hold a attack action if anybody comes near me from where. I'm gonna stand near the edge and hold an attack action.
Perfect. All right. Gur, actually, Pierce, you can make a death save because you are only unconscious. You were not on the stone, so it's not automatic.
15.
15. Okay, so Gur might not be dead yet. Dylan, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna gesture at the fire guy that came in. I'm gonna go outside, short, and then point down at the thing. We make those same gestures at the fire.
Make
guy
another
that came in.
performance check. This is a harder explanation based on,
9.
You're not sure he gets it.
Okay.
But that's it. So you've done any action, any other stuff?
I'm gonna dodge.
Understood. Flomp, it is your turn.
I'm gonna start pushing Gur toward the pit, and I'll say, Blaze Bug, help me with this. We need to push him into the pit and offer his soul or some shit.
Stremzaz just kind of stands there with almost like the shoulders of this cloaked figure, just as if...
Well, he's not dead yet.
Not much left in him, though.
Might as well
But you're
squeeze
sort
it
of trying to
in.
drag him over, push him over. You hear that, Blaze Bug. It actually is now your turn, Blaze Bug.
Okay. I guess I will go. I'm gonna go and grab Gur, but I want to stand right next to Flump.
Understood. So there can be some mutual betrayal thoughts.
And
Sure.
drag.
You come around. You basically stand. If Flomp is pushing, you come and push next to Flomp. If Flomp is dragging, you're dragging next to Flomp. So you're perfect. Okay.
I was
Understood.
thinking
So,
the exact same things. I do not blame you.
I'm gonna say with the two of you both moving this body, you've gotten the body almost to the thing. It's not there yet, which means Gur, you do have another death save.
Okay. It was caught. It was caught between a 20 and a 2.
So unfortunate.
It's a 5.
5. So it's not looking good for you. Dylan, you see them dragging him in. You're just kind of over there on the side. You got a book in hand. These various other arcane equipment is kind of like spilled out as you've dragged the body, just like kind of within the foyer and now on the screenstone. Dylan, what would you like to do?
It's dodging.
Still dodging. Dylan's like, don't want to get involved in this. Flomp, it is your turn.
Alright. I'm going to nudge him into the pit.
You can do so. So unfortunately, at that point, Gur, you are dead. Please pick a new character and roll initiative for them.
Gotta stop killing Pierce.
Sorry, Pierce. And then I'm going to, can I whip around and try to like kick Blaze Bug into the pit?
This is a push, so you were going to attempt to push thing. I'll say your free interact with object was pushing the one body in now, but you are now, you make an athletics check, and for Blaze Bug, you can either do athletics or acrobatics.
15, by the way, for the
15, great. A thing will meet in just a few moments. Who else just
It's
rushing
It's
on?
gonna be acrobatics,
Okay.
That is a 15.
and that is a 20.
So
Okay.
so now suddenly the two little monsters are just trying to push one another in. Stremzaz seems pretty happy about this wherever she is. Blazebug, it's actually your turn.
Oh shit.
I reach out and try and touch Flump as I make an attack against him.
Okay.
And that is a 23 to hit.
That hits. I'm going to use my defensive rebuke.
Okay.
So
great.
whenever someone attacks me, I immediately do 4 piercing damage to them
Okay.
as a reaction.
So
Is it non-magical?
It is, I think, yes.
is not
I am
magical.
resistant.
Well,
so
shit, 2 piercing
So
damage.
you take 2 points of damage. You take however much damage is being rolled here.
Yes, just a moment here. Let me get my damage calculator going again. There we go. Okay. So you are going to take
2d6, I think. Yeah.
yes 8 points of fire damage, and you are
Oh, shit.
ignited.
And you're
Well,
now
shit.
on. So you've been lit on fire, but you bit back. So both of them are doing this, and Stremzaz kind of like leans into the room, kind of as like a sort of like free reaction thing, and just says to Dylan, "It's not counting this blood, dear." Because they are on the green, not on the death stone.
I'm going to. I saw movement left.
Okay.
I'm actually going to run towards Dylan and that sweet papery book.
You do get an opportunity attack. You can use that either to attack or you can shove.
Me?
Yeah. He's leaving your reach.
Oh, shove it
I used
in.
my reaction already for the rebuke.
You do. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
So in that case, he runs over to Dylan, and you have your movement, so you're there. You cannot take any further action, but you're there, and you want to burn the book. Great. That is Blazebook's turn. Dylan, you are up.
Is he like book? Let me burn the book. Like, is he looking at the book? Like, can I tell what he's doing?
Are you making it clear you want to burn the book? I don't think Magmans are probably very sneaky. I think they're probably pretty, or it's up to, but this one maybe.
Is he like book, burn?
I mean, I'm going for him in general. I don't. The book probably is but
Nice bonus.
He's generally coming your way. Let's phrase it
yeah,
like that.
I don't know. I
said it's gonna be. I was like, it's a 4-room dungeon. They'll do it so fast. Ah,
Nope.
So
2-room dungeon next time.
Yeah.
You actually didn't even go into one of the
One
rooms.
room. One room.
That's all it is.
If you're
Go
gonna put a
ahead.
puzzle, one room.
What are you gonna
I'm
do?
going
Dylan?
to if I want to go around, how long would it take? Would I be able to get all the way around?
With a
One
dash, you could get all the way around back to the door. Sure.
movement? Well, I can't. Is he right next to me?
He is right next to you. Yes.
I would like to disengage
Okay.
and then run.
Start running. Alrighty.
I'll drop the book.
Okay. You drop the book.
Like halfway.
Halfway, so he's got to move a bit. Perfect. All right. With that, it is who is coming in now, Pierce?
So I guess entering Dylan, you would see slithering past you a very large, well, kind of. It's kind of hard to see as its like skin seems to be trying to change this green to match the floor. This large snake-like creature.
Does it look like that?
It does indeed.
Yeah, one of these slithering on in. Yeah, you're in. That's fine. You pass in. Stremzaz is like gesturing, like yes. Have at it.
So, so I have the geography correct, Flump is in the doorway.
Flump is right in the doorway, like right, like standing just on the edge of the metal. And then you don't coming in. He's the only one you see. The other two are like running around the side. You might see Dylan on the far side. There's a sarcophagus.
So here's what I would like to do.
Yeah. Kaz.
Since we've been watching all of this stuff.
Yes.
Kaz Harai, the snake. Well, I'm going to make my way to the hallway, and I'm just going to spring at Flump.
Great. Go for it.
This is the best PvP.
Oh my god. Yep.
It's a natural one.
So you fall into the pit?
I'm gonna say absolutely.
Yeah,
You fall.
totally miss.
You spring past, land in the pit, and you take 4 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
That absolutely happens. Merry Christmas to all.
God, Pierce.
As the
Your
Jacqueline just
rolls.
goes flying in.
They're so
That
bad.
is so good from Kazurai. Okay. Flomp, it is now your turn.
Can I put myself out?
We gotta take the fire damage first, right?
Oh, that's right. You do take the fire damage first. So,
False.
no, you take it at the end of your turn.
Oh.
Ha!
So, you can
Oh,
use
my
your
God.
action to roll around and put yourself out.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll because.
Okay, so
obviously
you do
I
that, and
can
you are
get
now
myself
out, so you don't take any more fire damage.
I'm
That is
just
your
going
turn.
to-
You have movement.
I'm just going to move out of the room and away from everybody.
You move out of the room, and Stremzaz is standing like directly in your way, and she just says,
Hello!
Get in there and finish it.
I'm just going to take a quick break and figure out what this ring is doing. It's sure
Okay.
that he's fine.
"Are you moving past her?"
I'm gonna roll my insight check. See if she'll kill me if I go past her. It's a 15 minus 1, 14. Do I think she'll kill me?
You see that her hands have started moving toward her hood.
I'm going to turn around and be like, yes, ma'am! And I'm going to just stay right next to her, but not in the room. And I'm like, I'm gonna get them! I'm
Okay.
going to totally get them.
Delightful. Blaze Bug, it is your turn. So Dylan's one way, there's a Jakuli in the middle now, and then Flomp is like right in the doorway, kind of like turned around or something. He's still there.
It's hard. First decision is, do I want to burn the book?
That is true too.
I'd like to do a wisdom check on this. Is that okay?
Yeah, make a Yeah, make a wisdom check. I'm sure you're not proficient in anything, so it would just be
I'm
wisdom.
not. It's a +0, but it is a 16.
I mean, burning books is always cool, but it seems like there's like a fight going on now, so
Yeah.
that can keep.
Okay. Where is Kaz Harai?
Kazurai is
In-
like about 10 feet onto the stone, like
Okay.
taking the necrotic damage. It's no extra damage, but it's worse for Kazurai because it's like the entire body is just
How
like
far-
contacting.
Is he from the sarcophagus in the center?
Another 10 feet he'd need to go. And his blood is starting to suck down.
Can I try and jump on him and then move towards the sarcophagus?
Absolutely. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
You run back. You try to run.
Okay. Alex is not great for me, but it is a
Okay.
jump, so. That is actually with a -2, but it's a 13.
A 13, you do not make it onto him, so you just land
Damn.
in the stuff. You take a full 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
But you were trying to do a springing jump back, so
Yeah.
you can jump again towards the sarcophagus. So another athletics check. That was the jump to get to him, and there's another jump to it's like a badong badong.
Yes. Okay.
You've missed the first one.
That is worse. It's an 11.
So you tumble forward, and now you land prone on the stone. You did give it 6 more points, which was very nice of you. Okay.
That's 8 damage in total that you've taken?
Yes.
I don't know how much health Magwins have, but...
I have 9 health.
Doing great. All right. So you're on prone, and you're just like, it's like you're burning, but it's burning. But there's gonna be some great stuff here in a second. Okay.
There's going to be some very great stuff here in a second.
Dylan, it is your turn.
How far away am I? I mean, I just want to. How big is this room? How far away is the sarcophagus?
The sarcophagus is kind of like 20 feet from the ring around. It's like a 40-foot wide,
Okay.
40-foot.
How is
diameter.
Flomp looking?
Flomp? How is Flomp looking? I don't even know.
He is exactly bloodied.
He looks bloodied. He looks rough.
I would like to be on the opposite edge. I would like to kind of take cover on the opposite edge of the circle from Flomp.
Understood. So you're hiding from Flomp
Yeah. I'd like to dodge again.
Continue dodging. Kazurai. So the first thing that happens to poor Kazurai is you do take, I'm rolling real high on these, you take another 5 points
Cool.
of fun. That gets us to over 39 points, and Dylan, conveniently where you are, you're not adjacent to it, but now that you've kind of moved around, the last, or not, there are some others, but this kind of like the cupboard opens once again, and this is what you see inside.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Randomly rolled. This staff, it seems incredibly powerful. It seems it's
That's
radiating
insane.
stuff. And as you look at that, you immediately can feel the eyes, even though you can't see them hidden, but you feel the gaze of Stremzaz, and she's kind of her body language is hard to read, but there's always this nod of I wasn't lying. Give me that blood, kid. Give me that blood and you can go places.
God damn.
Yeah, if Dylan can make it out of here with this, it's a big deal.
I forgot to mention this earlier, but that second jump roll I did was actually a natural 13 because I had -2. So
Oh, can it please change everything? So first of all, we just do that. So Anthony gave us 2, and we're at 3 for the night. That's so exciting. Everything's happy. Everything's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for spotting that, though. That is much appreciated. Anthony, you've given us 2 on the evening. Well done. Let's
live for
go
chaos.
ahead and roll a... It is a Y.
God damn it.
However, in response to this,
Yes, I would like to do it. Yes.
it is actually
Yeah.
not even up to you.
Oh,
In
fuck.
response to this, Stremzaz feels something strange, and you hear her saying, "Who is that impugning on?" And she is going to do it. So, Dylan, would you please roll a d6 on behalf of her.
What is she doing?
1. Then it's very low cost. The dread clock increases 1 more. It increases by 1d6. We've had people hold off a horror surge and add 6 to the dread clock. It's fantastic. So.
Oh my god.
With that, we've gone up by 4, and
Well, it's still Kazurai's turn, right?
yes. And it's still Kazurai's turn. This was all just shenanigans were happening.
Well,
Go ahead.
having touched the floor and it is burning, I don't like this. So I will once again try to like coil up and spring towards Flump and also the door
Always
on the way
me.
out.
Understood.
You're in the way out.
So you spring back that way. You slither around. Yeah, we already rolled how much you took just to be there, so go ahead and make your attack on Flomp.
Well, it's an 8.
Does not hit.
So you don't go completely off kilter. You kind of land next to Flomp on the metal. You are not burning up from the stone of death below. Very good. Anything else, Kazurai?
That's all I got.
Wonderful. Flomp, it is your turn. Kazurai's right here next to you.
I'm gonna shove him right back into the pit.
All right, so a contested check. You must use athletics. Kazurai can do athletics or acrobatics.
This human is just standing here watching all this shenanigans.
That's really good. 22.
I rolled a 4. I'm not even going to
So
bother. looking what it is.
Kazurai, you are shoved back. Now, I really should be giving you disadvantage on all these shove checks because you don't have arms or anything. You're just shoving with
Also
your nose.
large.
Oh, I would like kick with my feet.
Are Jakulis large?
Yes.
Oh, then you
Wait, really?
you legitimately have disadvantage on this. So roll again.
Okay, that's still a 15 or 16.
Okay, so you still manage to
I
get
got
on.
8 at
However, you have already taken the necrotic this round, so it'll be at the top of your next turn. You don't take any more now. And you probably still have some movement. Right? Because you only
Yeah.
So you can slither off of it if you want to. Just like
Yeah, I'll do
you
that.
could still. So basically, it's back off the thing. He'll probably shove you on again with his whatever nonsense, but that happened at least. All right, Kasurai and Flomp. Hey, it's your turn, Flomp.
That was
PvP
my
makes it
turn,
go so
wasn't it?
fast.
That was his
Oh,
turn.
that
was
was
my
his
turn.
turn. You
Yeah.
came to him. He gets. Oh, then actually you don't have movement because it's not your turn. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's
Sarai,
right.
you'll hit it to the next one. Strong.
I'm going to move a bit to the side since I shoved Kazurai down. I'm going to move like away from the doorway because I see that this is a disadvantageous position for me. Just going to move like to the left 10 feet.
So basically, Stremzaz walks into the room and takes down her cowl and looks at you. And this targets so many people when she uses the black eye. Or within 10 feet. So, actually, no, I guess because of how people moved, did you move more than 10 feet away from the Jakuli?
I would move like to the corner of the room.
Actually,
So I don't
Jakuli,
know how far
you
that
could
is.
use your reaction to attack as he moves.
I will.
Isn't it prone though? Because I've shoved him?
Not a snake, he's a snake. They're always prone.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that
No
bite
disadvantage on a snake being prone. I ruled the following.
is 16 to hit.
That does not hit my 17 armor class.
So you just cannot slip on that. So you move away. Stremzos has come in and done this, but she is targeting you. She's targeting you just because she's like you're not killing
me?
you. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Flomp. She's targeting Flomp because she's just like you're not doing enough.
I just pushed him into the pit.
And she says, "True, but you have plenty of blood left to give, my dear." She fires this bolt of black, dark energy at you. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead as fuck. That's a 2. Minus
You
1.
are basically completely frightened of her. And in fright, you have to use your movement to get away from her. And despite like your understanding of how it works, basically she is forcing you to move, to like flee from her, like onto this surface.
Yeah.
So you're kind of you're like trying to like run to her from this thing, and so you certainly like you go through there. So you do wind up taking but only take 1 point of necrotic damage.
Okay.
She just needs 10 more. All right. Wonderful, Flomp. Way to go. That was Stremzos' turn. Blazebug. First thing that happens to you, Blazebug, is you do take some necrotic, which will be 3.
Is anybody within 10 feet of Blazebug at the moment?
I'm gonna say, for the fun of it, that yes, your boy fled that direction towards Blazebug.
Fuck me.
Because it's like kind of like you're going across, and Blazebug was going towards the sarcophagus. So yes, so go ahead and so how does that
Blazebug's
work?
skin cracks and bursts as the
maybe we
fire
should talk
contained
about
within
this.
him explodes, and
Shit.
So you must.
Flump, make me a DC 11 dexterity saving throw,
Excellent,
please.
excellent.
All right, let's do it. Let's. Oh, I don't have a minus. Cool. It's a 12.
That's
I
12.
thought I had the minus.
So
for
you'll
dex.
take half of this, but go ahead and roll
Which-
the
I rolled max damage, so you take 6.
I have
6.
1 hit point left.
Oh man, she needs so much more. All right.
Also,
Yes.
wait, actually,
I think, and then Blazebug,
I
you are.
don't think that one ignites. No. Okay, that one does not ignite.
So you're gone. You can grab another character, but I think we may be close enough that will not be necessary. Dylan, it is your turn.
Can I grab the staff?
You can, and it feels oh so not joking around in your hands. You have the sword in one hand and the staff in the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Well
That's
done,
going to be a
Dylan.
problem.
Alrighty then. What would you like to do now?
I want to dodge.
Just dodge.
Oh,
I'm scared.
I look over to Stern's house. I'm like, what the fuck? He isn't doing anything. Like, this is favoritism.
Beautiful. All right, Kazrai.
Ow.
So
I
first,
get hit by the
so
explosion.
you are back on the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take 1 point of necrotic damage.
Okay. I'm still around.
God, I just need 2 more, you guys. Gotta get to 52. We just need 2 more.
And I'm dead.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm going after you, Flump. I'm a little.
So you go over to Flomp. Flomp is Flomp just got hit, but Flomp has so you make your attack. You can do your spring, all that good stuff.
Okay, I will spring. Sure. Natural 20.
All right, so roll the damage on that. How many hit points do you have, Flomp? Okay, so what's your max hit point max?
16.
Okay, so with this
I
attack,
can I
get-
use my reaction if an attack is killing me?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to cause 4 piercing damage to cause
That gets us across, my friend.
I'm at 2. I'm still around.
It's before the damage happens. I do the melee attack, but yeah, it's when the attack is made. But yeah,
Okay, I'm still around. I got 2 hit points. I gotta roll this 8d6 real quick.
Great. Well, no, because this actually it doesn't matter because you'll die either way. But just for posterity, let's see if it even not on Deathstone would have killed you, saving throw free and everything.
Well, 18, 23, 20,
oh,
5,
Flomp is
28.
gonzo.
Just
38, 30, 40 points of damage.
Yeah.
Man, all 30 pounds of Flomp just disintegrated.
I'm glad
as the
that
blood fills up.
I'm glad the one time I managed to accomplish anything tonight, it is meaningless.
My nat 20, which if 1 point, same thing. Excellent. All right, so you are with that, like the blood is filled up underneath. Now, you would have used some move. You moved like let's say like 20 feet to get to Flomp. What's your movement speed?
Me, it is it's 30 feet.
So you cannot make it off the stone this turn. How many hit points do you have left, Kasarai?
2.
Okay, so theoretically, you might not die if I roll another 1 on the next thing here, but we are now going to go to Stremzaz, who, as that last bit of stuff, it's kind of like now that its return is perfect, the sarcophagus opens in the center. And this, like, howling gale of of like energy and kind of like necrotic power. This just like stench of horror and death. These bodies on the ground, and Dylan, you're like over on the side, like clutching the staff and with this rapier in your hand, and it all kind of like spreads out, and you sort of see that Stremzaz is both like standing in the doorway and then is not there, and then is like walking out of this sarcophagus with incredible power and ability. And she turns to Dylan and says, "The blood has been paid." She takes down a cloak, revealing a woman's face, looking human but kind of like pallid skin, and sort of like looks very much on the edge of death. If she's not a lich already, she's well on the way. She extends a hand, and a red stone appears over one, and a black stone appears over the other. And she turns to you, Dylan, and says, "Fear or flame?"
I already have a lot of fear, so I'll take flame.
She flips it, and the stone pierces into your eye. Dylan, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Well, I'm actually proficient in these.
Great.
17.
17. Okay. So it kind of like you're taking damage, you're feeling the damage, but it seems to like be like it's more transformative. But you feel, and like suddenly like you can't, and everything from one of your eyes is just red. You no longer have an eye; it has been replaced with a gemstone.
Oh shit.
She walks across the stone, seemingly fine, kind of comes to the edge and says, "You have my staff. That's impressive. Well done. Where are we, dear boy?" Dylan, it's your turn.
Well, it seems like we're in your home. Would you like your staff back? You can. I don't.
It's yours. You paid for it in blood, fair and square. She kind of very calmly starts just pushing the black stone into her own eye.
I don't, honestly, I have no idea. Are you talking about where we are physically, or like where things stand between us?
I am not in the domain of the Lich Queen Visibiroth. That is clear. Some other entity holds sway here.
Like you genuinely want to know. Oh,
where are we, my boy?
We're in a town called Paradise.
Paradise.
Do I know about the stone, man?
You do. You can if you can basically start telling her. We'll go ahead, Kazurai, on your turn. If I roll a 1, you're still around and can do something. I roll a 2. So Kazurai the Chikuli, unfortunately, to the number is just, and she kind of goes, whew, like as she gets a little bit more blood, like ooh, tickle, and that kind of just continues. And at that point, like the entire like kind of like sigil there has been filled up and now like overflows slightly. And she's like, oh. And so you tell her of the stoned man, and she kind of puts a hand around your shoulder and says, "Very good. Paradise. Well, come, my eye of flame. Let's go out there and kill some things."
Okay.
And you and Stremzaz walk out into the dark night. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Jesus.
Wow.
A couple things happen today.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple.
One more session and you're a first level character, right?
Yeah.
And you
You
might.
have a Staff of the Magi.
Well, I know. You. I wonder what class he'll pick if he makes it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a few options, but I also have a negative charisma score, so I think that's going to influence a little bit.
Well,
How's your
everyone,
intelligence
that
this
was
question?
the fire gem in his eye. Oh boy, that's fun. Fear or flame. So I'm gonna tell everyone. So first of all, everybody, thank you so much for checking us out tonight. I know this was a long session because, of course, a one and done dungeon was gonna be longer. I could have done so much less, but also, I don't know that I could have. It was that much. In any case, Dylan is alive with a red gemstone for an eye. He is carrying a Staff of the Magi, our everyone's favorite parkouring teenager, has some interesting situations going on. I would like to say, if you enjoyed what you saw tonight, go ahead and follow us or subscribe to the channel. If you have a Amazon Prime account, you can get a free subscription through that if you link your Twitch to it, so that's a cool thing to do. We stream on Sunday nights with a game called Here Be Dragons. We stream on Monday nights with a game called Wild Beyond the Witchlight, the new hardcover, and it's a lighthearted Feywild romp.
The opposite of this.
Yeah, opposite of this. Here Be Dragons is a game where the players are dragons. Super crazy fun stuff. And then, of course, on Fridays, we have this kind of weird, kind of like kaleidoscopic like tapestry being filled in of this horror game called Blood from a Stone. I want to thank all of our guest players tonight. We had a lot for various reasons, and they did a wonderful job of being the monsters. The monsters exploring a dungeon. This was crazy. Pierce, you died 3 times tonight, or 4 times?
4.
You died 4 times tonight. So you now hold the record. There's a bit of an asterisk because
character to go to.
It's a bit of an asterisk because this was like, a kind of place where it's sort of designed to happen. But thank you all so much for checking this out. I'm going to add one last just nerdy thing, which is that the Eye of Fear and Flame is such a crazy undead creature, and it literally is just all about like telling people to do bad stuff, and when they don't, it either burns them or scares them into submission. And it's from first edition. It's from the Fiend Folio from 1981, and they did this cool book called Mordenkainen's Fiendish Folio that was like an Extra Life thing where they brought back all these weird things. Also the Norker, which is kind of what Jeremy was playing, but he skinned it to be something else, is also from that. So anyway, super fun. This was great. Check out our About page if you want to see like the links of all our players. I think everyone here tonight is on there one place or another. Also check out our Discord. That's really cool. Am I missing anything? Anybody else want to plug anything?
Well, yeah, I just want to point out, especially because we had a bunch of new people who popped in. The Discord, which there should be a link in the chat for that. Also, Philip writes recaps of every session for every one of our games. So, like, if you liked this and want to catch up, you can go through and read all that. There's also, if you kind of dig the dark vibe, there's also a novella that Philip has written that you can download that's set in this world, as well as one that's set in the dragon world.
We have some cool downloads, and there's a bunch of music from the Star Wars game we did, which is so dead at this point, but it's hilarious, some of it. So yeah, check that out.
Oh man.
Yes.
Good times.
I think that's it.
That's Discord. Anybody else? Plug stuff. I know we're super late. We'll sign off here, but yeah.
I do a webcomic called Travelers of Solaria. You should check it out. It's on Webtoon. I'll post the link in the chat. Also,
I think it's also on our About page.
Yeah.
Great.
Also, I did a short story with Philip on Webtoon called Wonder Worker. So if you want to check that out, that's all finished and ready to read. So if you want to check that out,
it is a fun one.
It's very fun and insane. So.
Very cool. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching tonight. This was wild. We got some good nat 13s. We got some good pushing the clock forward. Clock stands at 5, so that's delightful. And thank you all so much. Until next time, have a dreadful night. Ooh, happy Halloween. It's coming so soon. Ooh, fun. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bags are packed, you're at the door. A taxi's on its way. There's nothing left to say. I'll give you back the ring. Don't look at me like that. You had to know it ends like this. Couldn't you feel it in my kiss? Not happily ever after anything. But don't give up. Not for 1 hour. The game's not over. You'll be fine. You'll find a way to up your power. What you're looking for is in another castle down the line.